Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to this, the 31st episode of Blood on the Thames, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in London, England. Where me tonight is...
Carlos playing Moses of Clan Nosferatu.
Peter playing Benjamin of Clan Malkavian.
And Philip playing Jim Roy Woods of Clan Gangrel.
So, before we launch into the whole recap for the previous book, I want to draw all of your attention to our swanky new mic. Woo! Which is all due to you guys at Patreon and you guys being fucking awesome. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, so you guys are doing awesome, and thank you very much for everything you're doing, and always do. So, episode recap, guys.
So, Richard Whitman, the policeman who was searching for his missing daughter, for some reason, tries to get into court but is escorted out. He's been asking after Jim, Benjamin, and the crossed hands. Later, he is seen outside the club, obviously observing who comes and goes.
In court, Benjamin has a private word with Plucky Jake. They kiss. Things are never the same again.
Later, out of love for his clan, Moses kisses Benjamin too.
Benjamin then meets with Lisa Kedding, the new Toreador Primogen, and he discovers that she designed the Visions of Voltaire gallery that he has been given by Edmund.
Oh, sorry. And Moses sees Alice. She's back on her feet, but still silent. And the Anarchs are wary of him now that he's a hound.
Danielle approaches Benjamin at court and asks him to look after Moses.
Meanwhile, Jim finds a back exit and the coterie leave that way to avoid said Richard Whitman.
Benjamin goes ahead of the others to the crossed hands and he discovers Richard Whitman's accomplice watching the building from the bus stop opposite.
And on their way in, Moses and Jim meet the smiling man. And this time, it seems he has a bit of an interest in Katia.
And Plucky Jake later turns up to collect Moses, reveals he's an Alastor, and that he's heading off to kill Alexander. And that's where we left it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. So, first of all, greetings to Captain Weirdbeard. Thank you for joining us. Awesome name, by the way. You're already popular. So,
Yes, you are.
let's jump in then, guys. So, on the crisp morning of the 18th of... God, I can't read my own writing.
It was
18th of August. At 2 o'clock in the morning. You are all finding yourselves in different places. You are in
A mini.
Sat alongside someone who is still very much gussied up. As gussied up as Plucky Jake can be. Heading towards God knows where. After his revealing of his actual position within the Camarilla. Which to Moses is not as enlightening as it perhaps is to Carlos. But,
Big difference there.
Yes, but you are making your way towards points unknown. Benjamin, where are you at this moment?
Well, I believe when I found out that things were awkward at the crossed hands, I ran away.
You did run away. Where did you run
and
away?
I went back to my flat where Amelia is.
Yes, okay. And where are you currently, Jim?
Jim is currently inside the crossed hands. I believe up in his room looking at his phone, pondering upon two choices.
Okay. So what choices are you pondering on, Jim?
I've just two people to call with recent information. Which do I call?
Okay.
In between numbers. Unsure.
Well, you and Jim ponder that for a moment. We'll go back to Moses.
I'm still obfuscated next to Plucky Jake. And super quiet.
So Plucky Jake seems perfectly content with you not speaking. And he goes on and flicks on the radio and starts listening to a show called The Navy Lark, which he seems perfectly content with, and every now and again stops and chuckles at one of the lines, starts quoting other lines, and seems to completely forget that you're ever in the car. And he continues driving throughout London until finally the Mini stops as it turns a corner, and he gets out. As you get out, he holds the door open for you to climb over.
Okay, yeah.
It doesn't.
So I don't break my So I don't break
Waits
my
until you
obfuscate.
come out. But the moment that you are out,
I'll bring my stuff with.
and you step up and look around, you see that he is obfuscated himself. Not in the sense where he's invisible, but he looks like a pedestrian on the street. And he has a flat cap on. Looks very much like an urban farmer. It's hard to picture. It's one of those people that you look at and you're like,
You don't belong here.
you
but
don't belong
do.
here. Yes, it's one of those. He kind of fits in the situation, but he's one of those people where you glimpse it for a moment, realize that they look weird, and that you could stare at them for a while longer if you could, but then you draw yourself away. And he seems, perfectly content with himself. So he's got a satchel over, quite a weathered satchel that he's got over on his side, as well as a carrier bag. And then once these things are in tow, he does a quick glance around, does a very sharp, and then starts crossing over the road, breaking in between traffic as he makes his way towards a massive office building, which simply titles Matlin's.
What was the name of it?
Matlin's.
Matlin's. Okay,
Matlin's.
I just run and jump through, over traffic if need be, just to keep up with him.
Yeah. And he makes his way over towards the front door. And as he opens, goes through the, what do you call them? The roundabout doors.
Revolving
The
doors?
revolving doors, that's the one. Roundabout doors. Okay.
Can we have roundabout doors?
Pattern.
They sound
I'm
great.
patterning that. Roundabout doors. Go around on mini scooters. As you go through the revolving doors and you step into one step behind him, out into the front, one of the security guards who looks up from the desk, the moment he makes his way over there, he hands over the carrier bag and then just waits. And the security guard takes it, begins looking through it, and after a few moments, closes it, hands it back, and then just gestures towards one of the doors. And Plucky begins making his way over towards the metal detectors. He stops, looks at the guard. The guard just nods. He steps through it, and nothing goes off.
Okay, I just jump over it.
Yep. So
Unless it's a very low ceiling.
no,
If it's
it's
a
quite
double,
high ceiling.
if it's a double height thingy, I just jump over it and land.
Yep. And then as you notice, as you jump over it, the lights that suggest that it's active were off, and Plucky Jake walked through it. And the moment that you land on the other side, they flash back on.
Okay.
And he starts making his way over towards one of the elevators, nudges it with his elbow, and just waits.
I just wait a step behind him, so in case there's someone in the elevator, let them leave, and then immediately jump to the end of the back.
Quite a few, as the door opens and quite a few people file out, all these people are wearing suits, quite high class suits, the kind that you expect businessmen to wear in this kind of area of London. And they all give a kind of a second glance over towards
The farmer.
yeah, the farmer who's
urban
just
farmer.
there.
Yeah.
Especially since he seems to be eyeballing them as they walk along. And then once or twice when someone stops and looks at him, he blows the
Zero
occasion. Yeah, he turns around and
Zero
blows the
tact.
occasional kiss to one or two that kind of wander past, male or female, and then steps off into the elevator. And he holds the door for a count of 2 seconds and then releases it, and you run in. And it begins ascending. And as he does this, he turns, looks at the camera, looks at a watch on his hand.
I try to position myself into the elevator as I'm trying to be underneath the
Yeah.
camera, if possible.
Yep, he counts to 10 from the moment that the lights start changing. Taps his watch and then goes, "You can drop that now." And then he looks over at the camera, drops his obfuscate, smiles a toothy needlepoint grin at the camera, is like, and then waits.
Hi, Carrion. Is that Carrion?
No.
Shit. Who's that?
You haven't met this one yet. And then, cut back to you.
Oh, shit.
So you step into your apartment, and as always, it is made up. It is kept tidied, very much from Amelia's kind of sense of compulsive cleaning, which you feel quite good with. It's not compulsive to the degree where she's just doing it all the time, and where if anything's out of place, she it works her up. But she is always keeping things tidy, and you notice as well that there's quite a few additional books and paintings that she's put up, all of which, whilst they are not your paintings or they are not the kind of paintings you might have glimpsed in the gallery, are all of the style which she has already noted is the kind of style you go towards. And all of them are, they're not like you look at them and go, wow, this must be from a gallery, but they are all really pleasing to look at. And she's got them put up, but only in the public area, so she hasn't gone and touched anywhere where you slumber. But she's also reinforced the areas where light could come in. Just so it's making it clear, even at a glance, that she is continually checking these things. And as you come in, she is sat with a book on her lap, which she is looking through, and she does have a glass of wine. And the moment that you come in, she sets it down and closes the book.
Hello again.
How was your evening?
Well, memorable, I would say. Certainly memorable. Not entirely in a good way, but very interesting. Something I did want to talk to you about, something I didn't realise. You know the gallery, and it being obviously very prestigious, and it once belonging to Michael Chase. Did you know that it belonged to? Yes, belonged to Michael Chase. Yes, you did know that. It also used to be run by the Prince's Ghoul, Marcus. And it was designed by the new Toreador Primogen, which I didn't know. So what all this is telling me is that there are probably lots of very important people who will get very cross if we don't do this well. I think that's the lesson that I'm taking from all of this. They're all being very polite about it, but that's what I think.
Kindred get angry if you do anything well or right. It depends on which kindred you're asking about. But I think in the case of the Voltaire, I think it was kept largely hush. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Good. So you didn't have any trouble. Did that police officer, he didn't give you any trouble after you left? He didn't follow you or...
What police officer?
You know, the one that you spoke to, who asked after me outside the...
Sorry, I must have been distracted. I was just looking at the pictures, the one that I put up. I noticed that you have a very particular style. Would you say this is how you like to view the world?
So, at this point, Benjamin is going to be thinking something is seriously wrong. Does she seem like herself? So, yeah, we can talk about those pictures in a moment. Are you saying you don't remember our earlier conversation from this evening? You know, with the Tic Tacs.
Oh no, that conversation. Yes, I remember that. Sorry, it's been an interesting evening. I've been having a few bits and pieces to try and take up on. I mean, you're about to step into a much larger world. It's something that you need to be prepared for.
Yes, that's true. So I'll have a look at one of the pictures on the wall. Does it seem... Is there anything about it? I know there are pictures that are kind of appealing to him. Does it seem like... Do they seem kind of fitting with the way he sees the world? Or do they just more like art that he likes?
It's quite interesting. It is the kind of landscape crowd paintings that you tend to like. And you're looking over it and it looks very similar to the cafe drawing that you did at one point.
Okay.
But it's refreshing because you're looking at this and you're almost expecting to see that dark figure in there, but it's not in there. And you're admiring this and you glance and look over the next one and it looks to be a kind of landscape portrayal of London. And it's good because you can see little people going across the bridges. You can see it's a darker shade of night, but not so dark where it takes away from the colours. It illuminates and it's quite captivating. and she's watching you as you're moving between them, and then points to another one over on the wall that she's also at, and you move over to that one, and then you realise that the picture there is the same picture that you've just looked at, apart from there are flames engulfing most of the buildings.
I'll say, oh, well, this first one, I would say, is probably how I would like to see the world. And in fact, some of these are definitely that way. I think this last one is perhaps how the world has become lately, and how I'd rather it not be, if I'm honest. It's a very striking difference, actually, because these are very gentle pictures, aren't they? And then there's a sudden, you know, it's a. I think they work quite well as a piece. Did you think about that as them as a collective?
I did. It's
Yes.
kind of glancing into how things were, how things are, and how things will be.
How things will be. Oh. I'll look at the picture of things on fire. Are there people in the picture?
Yeah.
And are they also on fire? Are they in distress?
They look to be in distress. And then as you're kind of looking at it, you hear her voice as she stepped up next to you, and she leans over and just points. That one, and she points to one of the figures. I think that one's you.
I'll look closer at that figure.
And the very closer you look, it looks, and it's weird the way that you're looking at it. It's almost as though you've suddenly zoomed in, and details begin picking through, and you realise the one she's pointing to is the dark silhouetted figure. Well, at least I think it's you. I mean, it kind of depends on the moment, really, doesn't it, Simon?
Amelia, don't call me that.
Who's Amelia?
I'll turn and look at Amelia.
Yeah, she's looking at you.
So what you're Amelia.
That's not my name. You know my name. It's right there.
What? No.
Yeah.
I don't know your name. Oh, no, I do know your name.
She steps closer to you. It's not a threatening step. It's almost like as though she's stepping in and becoming intimate. And she takes a step, and involuntarily, as though there's a force pressing on your mind, you take another step back. And then you realise you're wedged in the corner. Think on it. What's your Bane level? Okay. Roll Resolve.
Yeah.
Plus your Bane.
As dice. Oh. Assumed you're with Hunger Dice, yeah? Okay. 2 successes.
You know the name, but you can't bring yourself to say it. It's like every time you start trying to form it, it goes.
Do I feel like this is just someone that looks like Amelia, or do I feel like this is Amelia? I don't know.
Both.
Okay. So now you say that, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes things get a little muddled. That's all. It does seem like.
It's not muddled. The way you're looking at the world is muddled. If you learn the bits that are true, it kind of all blends.
Well, I mean, I do like looking for the truth. That's what I try to do. Just sometimes it can be slippery. That's all. And that's what it's like with your name. It seems slippery. I think it's there. I don't know.
Well, then let's look in a different mirror. Let's look at you. Can you remember your name?
Yes, of course. I'm Benjamin Green.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Say your name.
No, that I just did.
Steps in again. Say your name.
I'm Benjamin Green.
She steps in again, and this time you are now flush with the wall.
Okay.
Say your name.
My
Roll willpower.
willpower. Okay. I'm assuming. Did I get the willpower back from the?
Everyone did, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't spend it, just roll it.
Messy critical.
6 successes.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's like a veil has been lifted.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Not only do you suddenly recall what this individual was talking about, the name that's been escaping you is also there. So here is your name.
this is me being.
And
Or
then
shiny.
underneath is the name of the person you're speaking to.
Okay. Is there an associate shift in any other ways, or is it just that the names come
Just
to
the
mind?
names.
Just the
And the realization and understanding that realization is obviously changing.
Oh my goodness. Of course, Benjamin, I don't think is going to appreciate.
Instinctively, he will.
Okay. Okay. I will.
Say your name.
I'm going to try and social combat this.
Sure?
I know, but he won't want to say it.
Sure. say it.
I'll start shaking my head slightly. I think that's probably the most social combat I can muster.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Okay. This is two-way.
Yeah. I know this is going to be horrible.
If you fail, as in you continue until the point where you break, in
Yeah.
order to concede out, you have to flip personality
Okay.
until I determine otherwise.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So what am I rolling? Is this?
This is going to be resolve
Yeah.
plus intimidate, because that is effectively what they're doing.
Yep. Okay. That's fine. Just check. I always check to see if I've got intimidate. And it's weirdly, it's never there. Well, interestingly, I got 2 successes, but if I lose the contest, I also got a skull.
Oh.
Okay.
Just dropping it in there.
10 successes.
2 successes.
10.
Oh, you got 10.
Yes.
Oh. Fuck.
So you take 8 points of willpower damage.
Okay.
Plus
Half to 4.
plus 4,
So
because you know who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
That's 12.
Half to 6.
So is that a total of 6?
Total of 6.
So
Okay.
that's gonna just go to.
So it'll take me to take me to 0.
Jeez.
Okay.
You're impaired?
So if you're at 0 willpower, are you impaired?
Impaired.
You are impaired.
Or is
yes.
it when you've?
No, you're impaired as soon as you fill the box. It doesn't matter
Okay.
what you filled it with.
Okay, cool.
Did you get any activating willpower
No.
damage? Okay.
No. All right. So basically, at this point,
If you concede,
I will concede.
then you'll begin having flickerings of it. If you are taken to aggravated fully, then you flip. So it depends on how much damage you've just taken. So if your if your willpower track is full of aggravated,
It's not full of aggravated.
then no, you have the choice to concede or you can press it further. If you concede, then there will be bits of your personality that will flip.
Okay. All right. I'm going to concede.
Okay.
I think, rather than starting this book with no willpower whatsoever. So I'm pressed against this thing,
She's right in front of you.
and I'll. She was saying say her name effectively. No,
Say your
my
name.
Oh, yeah. Simon Wintle.
So the mirror's not entirely cracked. The truth isn't always fun to look at, but
I don't want that to be the truth.
it doesn't matter what we want.
It doesn't have to be. Things are going well. It's working out. It's working out for the better.
I know it is, but it won't always. And whether you attempt to resolve that or not, well, it's like trying to navigate with a fractured compass.
Don't make me. I, I, I like Benjamin. Everyone likes Benjamin.
But Benjamin's blind. I don't need blind people. Madness is a gift, and it's called that because we see the world differently. We see the world true, and that's why everyone's afraid. You don't want to live the rest of your unlife afraid.
I suppose not. I am afraid a lot, and apart from when I'm not, I just. What do you want from me?
For the moment, this conversation. In the future, well, you'll know. I mean, everyone knows. We know. They don't, but we do.
Have I just forgotten?
No. None of you forget. You all know it down, but you bury it under layers of unimportance. Lies and slanders, and people don't want to see the truth because it's more difficult than seeing the lies and the masquerades, and everyone likes it when it's in a cushy little box. But that is your curse. Not the madness. Truth. With that in mind, Simon, if you want to survive, and if you want those that are important to Benjamin to survive,
I do want them to survive. I do. I just. It won't work out. Doesn't work out with me.
it's not going to work out for anyone in London. Have you seen the picture?
Yes.
Do you remember what happened the last time you painted a picture?
Yes.
I do think this is one of your finest, by the way. And you realise that each of these pictures are ones that you yourself have signed.
I will look at the signature.
It's your signature. Simon's
That's why.
signature.
I didn't remember. They're better than I remember, funnily enough.
Well, you've been living someone else's life for a time. You're going to pick up some things. Still not quite what you were aiming for, though.
No. They're not good enough.
No. Well, it depends on who you ask. If you're asking Edmund, well, I suppose his answer will be, well, can't really give an answer at this point. But you like it, and that's what's important.
Why do you say he can't give an answer?
Well, he's dead. Well, dead.
It's felt like he's been gone for a long time. But
Well, not a long time. I mean, I heard him recently. But yeah, I know everyone in my phone book.
he's different now. He scares me now.
Well, when you see someone that is so counter to the truth, it can be quite scary. I mean, Edmund was... I mean, he was delusioned, but he was quite true.
Yes.
I mean, it's like looking in a mirror, really. In a way.
I like to think so.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's
gone. I think you're right. I did know. It's just that he was in front of me and I couldn't.
No, I'm in front of you. You don't think I exist. You know I exist.
Yes.
But you don't think I exist.
I don't know what I think. But I know Edmund's gone now. I know that.
There's quite a few people leaving recently. I'm gonna have to remedy that. I mean, even with thousands of voices, it does get lonely. Sometimes you just wish they'd shut up.
What do you want me to do now? With all of this, I was feeling quite. I don't know. Things seemed like they were all right. Now they don't seem like they're all right.
Well, they're not okay. I mean, big things are coming, and the ball's rolling.
Did I know? I'll point at the painting. Did I know this was coming all this time?
Well, part of you did, but then again, if you have to ask, it's like, do you know you're going to wake up? You know you're going to wake up, but you don't know what time you're going to wake up. Not unless you set an alarm, but that's kind of cheating and beyond the point. You knew something was going to happen. You've always known something was going to happen.
Yes.
But it's obviously you've had a theory. You wouldn't have painted these otherwise. But ball's already rolling. It's just a case of how you roll with it, I suppose.
Yes. Well, I don't suppose you have any advice.
Fireproof the apartment.
Is that humour?
Why was it funny?
Just it reminds me of something that a friend of mine might say.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm getting it from. I mean, I can only go into your head, and I know that you're actually a secret fan of his jokes. So I'm kind of just.
I mean, they're slightly more endearing than I might.
There you go. See, truth.
It's just frustrating in the moment, but after the shock has passed, I can normally appreciate it. Normally.
Well, then, how about we be a bit more serious? A lot of people are going to die. A lot. London is not safe for you.
Right.
For anyone, really.
So I should think about leaving London.
Yeah. But then again, nowhere's really safe anymore.
You're saying everything's on fire in the future?
Not everything's on fire. It's not the apocalypse. You've been watching way too many films. But it's not safe. I mean, half the world at any one point is not safe.
Yes.
But it's just unfortunate that half is now more unsafe. And the half that you live in is rushing to catch up.
Yes. All right. I'll have a little.
It's Amelia.
I'll have the time to think. This is going to be weird. I'll glance over my shoulder to. I'll look to see if the paintings are still on the walls, or whether they're different now.
They are different. They're what you originally glimpsed at. Apart from the last one's not on fire, it's just a different take on the second one.
I'll open the door.
She's stepping in with the exact same clothing that she was wearing when she met you outside the club. And the reason she was knocking is she's got her hands full of bags.
Okay.
that she's moved in and she puts on the side. Immediately takes off her scarf, sets aside her jacket, and then glances over at you. You all right?
I have no idea.
That makes two of us, I guess.
I'm going to go to that painting, the third. Well, and just check the signatures on the paintings if they have any.
There is no signature that you can see. It's probably folded underneath because they're quite large pictures for the frames that Amelia's put up. And she begins taking stuff out of the bag and starts putting it into the fridges and into the cupboards.
There was a figure in the third painting that wasn't in. I will be looking to see if they're still there.
It looks like an old lady. Sorry.
How
Okay.
are we talking?
It's.
The truth is there.
Yeah. I've always known in my heart I was an old lady, so there we are.
It's Mrs. Morovsky.
That's what I thought when you said an old lady. It's like, oh,
It's going to be
Mrs.
like.
Borowski's alive.
You realise it's going to be like the end of Psycho, where you find out it was Benjamin all along in a wig.
Oh, they realised it. They were too polite to say. It's like you had a conversation, pulled on a wig, and sat in a
There
chair.
have been notes since the first session. It's just Benjamin in a wig.
Yeah.
Like- anyway.
So she starts putting stuff away, and then once she's taken everything off and she's closed the fridge, she moves over towards the bookcase, pulls out a book with a similar cover to the one that you'd seen her moments before. After she's poured herself a wine, she goes and sits in the place where you had just seen her sat. And then she closes the book. Did you need me for anything? Sorry, I should have asked.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We can talk tomorrow. It's been a.
I'm free if you need me. And she puts down the book.
Are
you hungry?
No. No, I'm not hungry. I'm just a little. It's been I suppose, somewhat of a roller coaster of an evening. That's all. So, if things start to look like they're going well with the gallery, you know what I think would be nice? Was if we had somewhere outside of London, somewhere that other people didn't know about, where if anything bad was to happen, we could just go there.
Oh, so you mean like a kind of retreat?
Yes, like a retreat. That's exactly the kind of thing I'm thinking. A retreat.
Okay. At what point would you like me to look into this, and are there any specifications for what you're looking for?
I suppose somewhere out of the way and somewhere secure. And beyond that, I don't think I really care. I just want somewhere to run to if things get bad. That we can run to, specifically.
Is this just a precaution or something that I should be able...
I really don't know. Let's put it under precaution for now. Let's put it under precaution.
Okay. I mean, I can have a look at places, but your financial situation is not exactly...
I know we've put a lot of money into the gallery at the moment, and
on the subject of which I pulled up the financial records for the gallery. It's actually doing remarkably well. The amount of money that you've invested into it is... I mean, it's not paying up for anything that's been damaged. The place is in remarkable repair. And a lot of the items which were there that haven't been claimed, we've managed to prove ownership of.
Oh.
So you're already starting with a considerable amount. Whether or not your tastes and Mr. Chase's are similar, I doubt.
Oh, I think not. No.
No, I assumed not. Which is why I've already taken the liberty of drawing up a list of buyers.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I think, given... Oh, no, we've not had this conversation. So, one of the things that I learnt tonight was that this building was designed by the new Toreador Primogen. And she's now obviously around, and I think it will be prudent of us to respect her thoughts on the building a little as well. It was originally designed as a museum, so I'm thinking that we should still use it partly as a museum, but also as a gallery. Do you think that's workable?
Pull in a more wider.
Exactly. And of course that she might at some point turn up. So should you hear that a Lisa Kedding is paying a visit, she's
Lisa Kedding.
Lisa
Kedding.
Yes. That's your cue to know that it's a serious business.
To what degree should we allow her admittance?
Well,
I'm assuming obviously normal standards of etiquette, but exactly how liberal are we expected to be with her?
There's nothing been discussed in that manner. I think it's just that she'd probably like to come and have a look around.
So just allow her admittance.
Yes. And
you're happy with this in terms of the rules of domain?
I hadn't even thought about that. I just thought about ways to not upset the Toreador Primogen, to be honest with you. What do you mean?
It's allowing her to enter into your domain without invitation, essentially. Or is it something that I need to have run by you before she enters?
Well, I think we should assume that should she arrive, that you not stop her entering, but maybe inform me immediately.
Believe me, unless you're asking me to do so, I have no intention of trying to stop her kindred.
Oh, no. I think that's probably safest. She seemed very respectful about the fact that I owned it now, but I didn't say that she would be welcome to come and see it. But she seemed very well mannered, so I wouldn't be surprised if she'd ask me anyway. Hopefully. I just didn't think about it. I was just really thinking about not upsetting her very hard. That was my big thing.
And any other kindred? Or ghouls, or kind?
Well, the Prince's Ghoul used to run it. Seems like it's got a real history, this building. It seems like there are lots of people we can potentially annoy with it. But I don't think he's interested in it anymore, obviously now that he serves the Prince, so that probably won't be an issue. I think it's probably just one kindred to worry about, I suppose.
I see. Okay.
Oh. There is one other thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't in some ways think it's going to change anything. You know how we've been very cautious around Edmund?
Painfully.
And that obviously is going to have to continue. I don't really understand it. I hope you won't think that I've, I don't know, because it has been that kind of an evening. I hope you don't think I've had something funny and had a turn, but I really don't think that's Edmund anymore. I've been worried for a while, but I don't think it's him. I think he's...
I'm not quite sure how this works, but okay.
I mean whatever the man was that I had a relationship with is gone, and whatever's left
good
is, I'm going to say, much worse.
So not good.
And I don't think he's really aware of you, which is really why I was keen that you not come to the court. But I think if he ever became aware of you, he wouldn't think twice about using you to hurt me.
So what do you want me to do?
Honestly, I don't know.
He's your primogen.
Yes, I don't think there's really much we can do at the moment beyond what we're doing. Just really suffice to say, if ever you're in doubt and you feel actually what you want to do is run away, that's entirely understandable.
Kind of not an option anymore.
No, I mean in the immediate term, to find Danielle, for example, and hide out until I can...
No.
No?
No.
Right, alright. 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 Well, I think that's everything, unless there's anything you wanted to talk to me about, or...
No. Beyond the current status of the Voltaire, nothing else.
All right. And one last thing, if you notice anything odd, just around or with me or with other people you see me associating with, do tell me. I mean, as in sometimes you see something and you think it's probably nothing. Actually, it's probably
with
something.
With the greatest respect, you might need to really define what you mean by odd.
I just mean anything that strikes you. That's all.
Further definition, please.
I don't really know. No, I don't know. I can't be more. I'd love to be more specific. I can't be. I'm just saying. Should you just don't hold back? Sometimes one might hold back and think, I wouldn't want to seem foolish. Don't worry, you won't. I'm completely there. I will listen. No problems. That's all, I suppose.
Okay.
All right. Well, I hope you have a nice evening. And
give me a call if you need me.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm going to stay here tonight on account of. Oh yes. So, the police officer who was talking to you. You do remember that?
Yes.
Oh, good. That's good. He has an accomplice, a young man, who was watching the crossed hands. Tonight, which is why I've come here. He didn't see me. I'm not quite sure what's going on exactly.
Would you like me to look into it?
No, not really. Unless you feel you're particularly good at that. But I believe that Moses is going to... He's good at handling this sort of thing. I think he's going to... I wouldn't want you to expose yourself to their scrutiny. I think that's my concern.
Well, just if you change your mind, let me know.
Yes, I mean, obviously, if you feel like there's something you have to offer, then that's different. But otherwise, I
won't pretend it's one of my strengths to shadow people.
Right, good. No, we'll leave it with Moses. Perfect. Right. Well, anyway, good evening.
So she.
Poor girl. Poor girl.
It's the best job in the world being Michael,
Yeah, I mean.
If you see anything odd,
so
please.
She opens her book, authored by Danielle Martin, that goes back to reading it. So you've had an extra amount of time, Phil / Jim, in which to ponder your decision. Has Phil / Jinder?
Hashtag.
Has Jim / Phil pondered the decision?
Yes.
Okay.
So Jim will call Katia.
Okay. Bzzzt. 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 When it comes on, it's hard to hear anything over the sound of music. Yes, Jim?
Could you tell Sabine...
You have to speak up, Jim. I can't hear you.
Could you please tell Sabine that we need to talk about needles?
About who?
Needles.
About needles? What about needles?
That's something we shouldn't discuss over the phone.
I'm confused, Jim. Are you talking about actual needles? Or are you talking about a name?
I am talking about a name.
Right. Okay. A name I should... Cuts off.
Put the phone down.
Mm-hmm.
And go back to the notes of...
Where are you currently?
I'm currently in my room in the crossed hands.
Okay. Roll wits.
Uh-oh.
Plus awareness.
That didn't start well. Roll wits. Uh-oh.
Instinct?
Hmm?
Would instinct apply?
No, not in this situation. It wouldn't.
Okay.
Ooh.
5
successes.
Happy critical.
Critical win. That is the luckiest willpower reroll.
Yeah, I've ever seen.
He just
Holy
had
fuck.
one success and he turned that into let's roll double crit.
You can hear what sounds like a from upstairs.
Quietly move up to investigate.
Ghost.
And you pause. Actually, roll Dex plus Stealth for me.
Oh my god!
2 out of 2.
Lightning does strike twice.
One success, grabs dice, rerolls.
5. Happy
Crit.
critical.
Like, use them all now.
He's
That's fine.
Oh my god!
So,
Twice, like once was lucky, but this is twice in a row lucky.
Oh, from 1 to 5.
you can hear voices on the other side of the door. 2 voices, male. One with a happy critical, very familiar. And the voice is saying, "This is definitely her room."
Her room.
Her room. See that? That's the one I did. And then you can hear the sound of someone sketching. And then the sound of a bag opening and closing.
What's the what's is it Whitman? The voice that I'm recognizing.
It's Whitman and someone else's voice. Roll intelligence plus wits. No, intelligence plus resolve.
Ooh. It's never too late for a third go.
Go on, use those willpower.
Burn through it, burn.
Okay, why not?
Yes.
Because it's a limited pool, that's why not.
I know. I want to know. Oh
No.
Oh, that one was.
Yeah, that
normal
was a
one,
normal.
so-
Yeah.
Okay, but that's again another happy critical.
It's the same amount.
I promise you, he's not making this up.
Okay.
Like, this is ridiculous.
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
5 successes, happy critical again.
What the fuck?
It's Darren Fitcher.
Oh! And the flood thickens. No, blood thickens? That one. Clickens.
Richard Whitman and Darren Fitcher.
Oh boy.
Do it.
Do it.
Jeepers and the breakers back. The door opens
You're going to open it? Are you doing it quietly?
quietly.
Okay. Dex plus stealth.
That's 3, but with a 1 on the hunger.
That's not bad.
Okay. You open the door, and you can see on the far side of Katya's room, which has been largely stripped. There are a few bits and pieces here just in case, but it's been largely stripped. And you can see, wearing gloves, Darren Fitcher with his hood up, and Richard Whitman, who is there with a weapon tucked into his belt. He has a bomber jacket on, and he is currently doing a mixture between making notes in what looks to be a folder of a book, doing sketches, and currently lifting an item of clothing which has been ripped on the shoulder and putting it into a bag. And then as they turn and look at you, they very slowly rise, and Darren Fitcher immediately takes a step back, and Richard Whitman just pulls out a vial, undoes the bottom, and then holds up a lighter.
What are you doing here?
Looking for someone.
Who? And I'm gonna make a rouse to activate my fortitude.
Okay.
That's a success, so I don't go hungry.
My daughter. Which one of you did it?
Did what?
Killed her.
Why would I kill your daughter?
Roll manipulation plus subterfuge. Oh, composure plus subterfuge.
Same roll.
Yeah, like
Bestial failure.
And that's why you don't spend all your willpower early, right? That'd be a lesson to you young fledglings.
Despite yourself, you feel elongation of fangs. You hide it behind your mouth, but it's there. And you can already feel yourself gearing up.
I think another compulsion can beat me.
If you didn't do it, one of you did. I will find out who. Whether I expose all of you for what you are in the process is entirely your call. But I want the one that did in my daughter.
I could tell you. If bow down.
If what?
Bow down.
No. See, I'm content to end things here. But with this, and what else I've set up, I guarantee you won't make it out of the building. You let me go, and him, your secret remains safe a little longer. But I want the one responsible. This is not a negotiation, this is me just saying it how it is. Oh, it's worth knowing as well that quite a few people know where I am at the moment. So if I do go missing, they know exactly that every single thing I've been saying is true. So, balls in your court. Move out the way.
Put the bags down.
No,
Bags down.
no. I'm going to count to 5. If you don't move out the way, I set this off. I don't care who's in the building. 1, 2,
You really don't want to do this.
3, 4. Are you moving?
Him is not moving. He is down in his sights. He is not moving anywhere.
Okay.
They say fuck's sake, Jim.
Moses.
okay. I'm in
The elevator doors open, and you find yourself stepping out into this resplendent head office that overlooks London. The windows are tinted, so you can see out, but you can't see in. It is probably extremely expensive glass. You also get the feeling it's probably bulletproof and a variety of other things. And as you step in, you notice that there is a desk there. And based upon some of the imagery that's in this office, which you immediately recognize as being pictures or depictions or busts of Prince Emrys.
I start slowly walking away from the chair. I was going to sit around and spin.
There is also actually do an intelligence plus academics.
Okay. So, intelligence. So that's 3 successes.
Okay. There are depictions of Prince Emrys in togas, in Celtic attire, and a variety of pre-Roman times attire as well, which suggests as to his age. There is also a bust of him, the name of which on the front is Marcus. The artist's name, not the bust of.
Oh.
Yeah. And Plucky Jake moves past. Do you know how many times I've had to fight the urge to draw a moustache on all these pictures?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And on the bust. Not my favorite kind of bust, but anyway. So he moves over towards the desk, where there is the chair. And unlike you, who had the compulsion to sit down but then resisted it, he sits down on the chair and just starts circling.
This is all I wanted to do that.
Do it.
No, I'm fine. I look like the view. Like, tip the glass.
And it feels like you're
Solid.
flicking.
Concrete or steel or something.
Yeah.
Get me some of these. Check the security, basic stuff.
Oh, there's no security that you can see in the office. There are no cameras in this room.
Phones.
Nope.
Not even a normal.
There is no
phone.
tech in this room.
That's what I'm looking for. Is like
No tech.
other than
Even
lighting.
the lights. No.
Not even lighting.
Nope.
So it's like candles and stuff.
Yeah. You don't like tech.
I gathered. Last time I was in a place with that many
Trust me.
candles.
No, I mean, there's been a few occasions we've tried to remedy the lack of tech in this room. Finds it every fucking time. And then, we pay the price and we grow a little more cautious. The elevator's as far as we got.
So he likes his privacy.
As you'd expect.
And he's like a tech.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't understand it.
There's nothing to understand. It's just a tool.
Try telling that to someone that's over like 2,000 years old.
Yeah. It's still a tool.
Oh, is that all it is, Moses? How about I get him in the room and you can explain it to him?
Well, if he asks me, I will try.
Oh, please let this be honest. I really want to see this conversation. And when he spanks the fuck out of you, I want a memento.
Yeah, I'm not gonna convince him. I'm just gonna explain it to him if he wants to.
You're making me very happy at the moment, Moses. It's like Saturday morning cartoons. Your boy's over in the box. There's a shipping crate in the corner. To make things clear, you're here to shut up and watch. I get a word out of you, and I'll improvise a Rusty Joe. It won't be the same, and it'll feel like I'm cheating, but I'll enjoy every second of it. So shush. Okay? Good. Moves over towards the crate and begins lifting it off the top and moves it aside. And there, curled in the fetal position with a stake driven through his body, is Alexander. Ah. Right, get him out.
Get him out.
So you lift him out and move him over.
I do try to make sure that it's him. With a half burned one eye.
It is him.
All of that. Okay.
It is him. You would not forget that face.
Okay. And whenever he tells me to put him, I drop him.
Just on the floor. It's going to be easier to hoover up the ashes. Well, not hoover. He won't let tech in here. Dustpan. So. Grab the stake. Wait. Takes out some very old kind of handcuffs, fluffy around the edges, and just God, they haven't seen this much use in years. Right, pull it out.
And I pull it out.
Okay.
And I back off, so Plucky Jake is in his field of view, but I am behind.
Initially, there's no reaction. And then the eyes, which were already staring ahead, just flicker and go around. And they latch onto you, or the eye flickers on over towards you,
Okay.
and then over towards Plucky. He doesn't say anything. So, Alexander, we get to meet at last. Again. Always feels like one of those dramatic moments in a film. You know, you have this whole speech prepared and, yeah. Anyway, you know why I'm here. Your time on the red list, blah, da, 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 da. You know how much of a pain in my ass you've been. The city was nice and quiet. I had fuck all work to do. I was happy. This is the fucker you're on about, right? Your boss, Vemon. His eyes flicker again. I want to know where Vemon is. Do that, I'll make it quick. Hello? Oi! He kicks him quite solidly in the rib, and you can hear ribs cracking. But Alexander says nothing. Grab me a candle.
Go look for a candle.
Takes the candle and puts it down in front of Alexander. And Alexander just shifts very subtly back. Plucky puts his foot down behind his head, stops him from moving. I want to know where your boss is. Hello? Am I like speaking Spanish?
No, I would know.
You spoke! Shut the fuck up! And he nudges the candle even closer. And again, Alexander shifts back. Where is Vemont? Nudges the candle closer. You do realize that your boss sold you out, right? Is it like Portuguese or some shit? No? Right, fucking open his mouth, I'm gonna take his tongue. He can fucking sign language for all I give a shit.
I use the stake to open his mouth in case he's trying to like shut it and bite my finger off or whatever.
So you open it. His tongue's not there. Of course it's not. You bite it off. Why am I asking you? You're not gonna answer. I don't think he's gonna tell me. So, I'll tell you what. You've been wanting to Jones on this guy for a while, right? If you could do anything to this fucker before I end it, what would you do? More painful, the better. Yeah. To me, not to him.
Well, I will let him know that we know where Vemont is and we're just corroborating information, which is what we're doing.
I meant physically, Moses. Don't fucking tip your hand.
Oh.
Oh my fucking god.
Burn the sole of his feet.
Get on it.
And I just go Inquisition style. Burn the sole of his feet.
Okay.
He has like handcuffs holding his ankles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fluffy handcuffs.
Okay, cool. I just use anything, even the strap from my satchel, to hold that to something, and then you just put the candles and draw him closer by them. By pulling in.
Okay. The next few hours are long and slow. Although Plucky Jake makes a great long facade of getting pissed and the fact that he's not answering, you can tell that he is very committed to what he is doing and is practiced at it. He's given you the opportunity to create opportunities in which to do things and making it seem like it's his idea. But the way that he does it is very efficient.
I feed him every single thing, physical or psychological wise, and the torture aspect.
Yep.
That Alexander did to Alice or me.
Okay.
Every single little ribbon of flesh, everything. To what?
Stains.
He's definitely not innocent.
Doesn't matter. Oh, then it'll go down to 1.
Because the guilty side be punished. My conviction.
Yeah, I fully agree. However, even bad people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's torturing, and then there's doing it for pleasure.
Oh no, I'm not questioning the stains. I'm saying Moses is not gonna back down.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely not innocent, and my conviction forces me to punish the guilty. So I'm not gonna shy away from the opportunity to do that.
And the process continues on.
This is sort of an eye for an eye kind of thing for Moses.
There is fire involved. There is acid.
Okay.
Which Plucky Jake lifts out of a small vial. And you know it's potent. You know it's stronger than stomach acid because of the speed with which it eats through flesh. But not once during this does Alexander make a noise. Does Alexander move? Does he try and minimize his exposure in any sense? He takes it and throughout it, or he stares at whoever's the person doing it. It's around about the time that Plucky takes his other eye, which he does with one of the prince's letter openers, that Vehement stops moving.
Alexander
stops moving.
Got me there for a second, mate.
At which point Plucky then pulls out a small vial of blood and starts putting in a dropper and starts dropping it on his face, just within slight reach of his tongue. And then his tongue would move off its own accord and take up the blood droplets, and the process would begin again and again and again. So, meanwhile, what are you doing?
What isn't it like 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning or something?
Yes, it's about 3 in the morning at this point.
So there's a little bit of time before dawn, isn't there?
Yeah.
What can I do to disturb myself still further? I might contact Danielle.
Okay.
I think it's probably too late tonight, but to ask if I can see her tomorrow.
Okay. So she doesn't answer the phone, but you managed to leave her a message.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you want to do in the amount of time you have left?
Maybe I will try and start a new bit of art.
Okay. What art?
Well, Benjamin's been to the gallery by now in the downtime, I'm assuming. He's seen it.
Mm.
So I think some kind of dramatic version of like the entrance way to the museum or something like that, but with maybe not like in the past he's tried to deliberately paint people that are instantly recognizable. He's going to be subtle about it, but the idea that some of the different people that have in the past had some involvement in the building So almost like a crowd scene in the thing, but the crowds are the different hands over time that have kind of been involved.
Okay.
But what he's not doing is painting like a photo fit for the police to go like, you know, that kind of thing. He's just a hint, like little. If you knew the people, you might go, oh yeah, that's probably them. That's probably them. So I'm thinking that Lisa, Marcus, Michael, and Edmund, and of course himself, as in Benjamin, would all be part of some kind of crowd or things going on, but very much like, you know, you can see like one of them with their back to you looking at one of the things in the museum or that kind of thing.
Okay. Okay. So you can start work on this.
Yeah.
I need a roll from you.
What kind of role?
We'll say dexterity plus crafts painting.
Okay. So that's 3 successes plus a friendly skull.
Okay. So you start making sizable project effort and progress through it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not your best work at this point, but it's early. It's early
Yeah.
days, and it is getting quite late, and you're slowly beginning to feel yourself becoming more lethargic.
Yeah.
It's harder to hold the brush up at a certain angle because your arm starts
Yeah.
drifting.
One last question.
Yep.
Was there a stylistic difference between the work he's been doing as Benjamin and the work he saw in the
yes.
previous thing?
Your one as Benjamin is more refined.
Yeah.
The other one looks like someone with about 3 years less experience, 4 years less experience, has
Yeah.
been trying to copycat. There's a notable difference.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
I mean, there's still technique there,
Right.
technique that you picked up, but you could
Yeah.
pick the two apart.
Yeah.
So,
Ah.
Fuck's sake, Joe.
are you not moving? Okay. The contest between the two of you continues in terms of the locked stare. And as you're watching Whitman, Darren behind him clicks a button. And immediately, every one of your stimuli is hit solidly. You hear a muffled and then another one, and then another one throughout the building. And directly alongside the doors beside you, you hear with such volume, even though it's muted.
Yeah, as I'm hearing the first explosion, I am moving towards the window.
Okay. Before you do that, do you have anything celerity-wise which would preempt this?
I have rapid reflexes.
Allows him to do a minor action for free without any die penalties.
I think it allows him to dodge
Okay.
bullets.
And also
Yeah,
dodge
yeah.
bullets.
So,
Also.
Should
I
that be
will allow
relevant?
you. Okay. First of all, dexterity plus athletics, or stamina plus athletics, to see how much damage you're about to take.
The flight of the Titus.
And then I also need composure plus wits.
Four. On the
4.
4 in the first roll.
Okay.
Composure plus wits.
You take 2 points of aggravated damage. As on either side of the door frame, there is an explosion.
Yep.
And it catches you on one side of the face and on the other one as you turn and throw yourself forward. And in the exact same moment, I need you to roll composure plus wits.
Two.
As the flashbang goes off, and you are blinded. So, in order for you to reach the window, I need wits plus athletics. If you fail this, you're going to hit with another explosion. At a difficulty 1 for the explosion. Okay.
I mean, I was glad you said difficulty 1 because he only had those.
No. If he misses, the explosion has a difficulty 1.
Oh, okay, got it. That's
bad.
That is bad.
It's the opposite of what you thought.
Yeah, it's completely opposite. I'm scared now. Very.
How much health do you have left?
Probably 7.
The explosion catches you from behind, and you scarcely feel the ripping of your facial muscles as you are thrown through the window, which you had been trying to navigate your way towards, and the explosion caught you and shredded your face as you were thrown from the window. You strike the ground several floors below. 3 aggravated. And the last thing you see as you are thrown through the window and the lights behind your eyes are going is both of them watching you fly past as they bolt towards the door. You can smell fire. You can hear screams. And you can see in front of you the crossed hands exploding systematically as whatever the hell's been placed and whenever the hell it's been placed has gone off. Lower, higher, higher, higher. And we're going to take an early break. And then pick back up.
Stop.
Well, look at it on the bright side. You're not in the raging inferno because we were just blown out the window.
So, before we go to the break, sorry.
Did they manage to, just quick thing. So they were inside the room.
And they're on the top floor.
And on Katya's room, right? And you were in the...
I didn't say they made it out.
Oh yeah, because you said that they bolted towards the door.
Yeah.
But I believe that's...
He was thrown out the window.
Oh, okay. It was me spatially confused.
He said he was
sense.
making for the window,
Yeah.
so he ran, failed his check for the flashbang,
And
so
then
the second
boom.
explosion would have caught him.
Yeah.
No, the thing, I misunderstood it, and I thought when you said they're running towards the door, it's like, but he's coming from the door. How come
Yeah.
you're not cannonballing through?
No, the moment
no,
that...
they were in different angles.
The moment that there was fire, he said he threw himself towards
the window, yeah.
The window.
Yeah. Now
Yeah,
it makes sense.
whereas
now it makes
as
sense.
he leapt past them, he's seen them going towards
Mhm,
the door to get out. Whether or not they get out or not is something I need to roll in a moment. However, before we go to the break, I want a fear frenzy from you.
Which is...
It's
Well,
going to be...
considering only
It's
if
a
you
willpower-
are
It's a willpower
conscious.
check, isn't it?
Huh? I'm assuming he's conscious.
Oh, is it a willpower check?
Here's willpower.
And what? I am full on track.
Oh, he's impaired in
I'm impaired
in
in
both.
willpower.
Are you impaired in both tracks?
You can spend a point of willpower to roll, but it becomes aggravated.
Oh yeah, you can aggravate yourself. Don't. No, that sounds awful. Don't do that. Don't do
Then
that.
you automatically fail. Then we will resume with that shortly. So let's go to the break.
For fuck's sake.
Cast the relationship map while you find the names.
When I find the
Well,
will.
at least there's a lot of...
Okay. Watch out, Phil.
Yes, I see you. I see you in the chat, damn it.
All right. So, on the relationship map, a few things. One is that Richard Whitman has returned from his status as being sort of cool uncool to being back on the board because he's back in play.
To hopefully being dead very shortly.
And there's a few new strings going on. There is a string that connects Benjamin to Plucky Jake, because now there's a little bit of Plucky that will always be with Benjamin wherever he goes.
Tic tacs, tic tacs.
There's also a new edition of Lisa Kedding who is the Toreador Primogen.
Because Benjamin cannot stay away from Primogen of the
He's
Toreador clan.
basically a Pokemon. He's trainee Pokemon master for Primogen. So he's also got a string to Lisa Kelling. There is another new string, which is not a Benjamin string.
No, it's a magical string from the magical smiling man all the way to Moses. Yeah, but at
No, I'm
least
not
he
the
doesn't
only
have
one.
my blood.
And the other
You mother...
shift is that we sometimes have comments within the coterie from one character to another. And I've updated Benjamin's, so I'm going to very quickly go through those. So in Katia's case, he thinks that at least she knows what she's doing. In Jim's case, it is patience is a virtue, ... prophetic. It's almost like he's a Malkavian.
Yes.
Almost. And towards Moses, it is something terrible is going to happen.
Honestly, I think those two should be the other way round.
No, I'm happy with them as they are, actually, I think.
How about he's a better kisser than Plucky Jake?
Well, the thing is, you're not allowed to lie on the board, are you? So I don't think I can do that.
Ah, that's rude. That's rude.
All right.
I think that's it, right?
Yes, maybe I could just add something like he's a good palate cleanser. Or something. We'll see.
He takes it like this, Dax.
So that, I think, is everything for the board. Yeah. All right.
Also, we have shout outs to new patrons that we've had since episode 30. So shout out to Simon Cooper, Marcus Aurelius, and Hida.
Thank you very much.
You rock. So you are now officially part of the list of amazing people that has allowed us to make this happen.
So on the subject of Patreon, there's something I want to say, but I also realise, could you grab the bowl of power?
Yes, the bowl of power.
The bowl of power. So while Carlos is getting the bowl of power, with Patreon, obviously, we were really wonderfully surprised by the support you gave and the speed of which you gave it. So those of you may have already seen that the first milestone of the cake obviously was reached at the end of the last book, and the cake went down pretty fast. We all have that level 3 potent power when it comes to cake.
I've got to admit, with that cake, I ate way too much. I was not feeling.
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
Amazing cake. It was so worth the agony.
It's fair to say that Phil was a risk to Masquerade during that cake session. And the other thing to say is that one of the other goals we had, which was to start producing kind of short videos of regular content, has also begun. So we've created Kindred Academy. The first video is now available to watch, but it's going to be the first of many. So there'll be much more of that to come. Talking about all things V5 and vampire related. But
it is worth mentioning that I made a boo-boo on that mistake that I corrected on a little card when I was talking about the dates. But it's been fixed. Well, it's been always fixed.
Yeah, if you have an eagle eye as you're watching the video, you'll see little things pop up you can click on, and then you get to A, see the correction, and B, Carlos's sense of humour. So, it's a double win, really. Yes. But we have now transferred the bowl of power over to Tidus. So I'm going to hand over to him now.
The bowl of mimic power.
The bowl of mimic power.
Beautiful.
It's such a pretty box. Am I back on screen?
Yes.
Hi. So, as he mentioned, the bowl of power is now in my hands, as it should be. Forever in my hands. And we are going to pick out from all you lovely people who is going to win this awesome Wayward Leather box.
With stickers and bag accessory.
I'm not going to stop moving my fingers until I get some Plucky Jakes. God, that sounded weird.
Plucky Jake.
Plucky Jake, Plucky Jake, Plucky Jake, Plucky Jake.
I like the fact the chat can be so contrary right now, right?
Yes, we're not going to do it.
Not gonna do it, no.
Just like, and then for the rest of
There we
time.
go.
There we go.
So,
A vote has been casted.
so the winner is indeed Frassy Sass.
Whoa! Bravo!
So, Frassy Sass, you're going to get your Wayward leather box, which is being modelled by the beautiful Carlos.
But not only.
And done by
box,
the people from Wayward Leather. Thank you very much again
thank
for
you
this.
very much for this, guys.
But it's not only the way the box, it's what's inside it as
Yes,
well.
it's also the amazing
Dice bag
and stickers. So we'll try to get in touch with you, or we'll definitely get in touch
Yes.
with you later.
Do or do not, people.
To arrange delivery of this beautiful mimic box.
Indeed. Thank you very much, guys, for
Thank
getting
you
involved with
very
that.
much.
Thank you.
Feels weird now that I've got to put the bowl of power away. I like
Yeah.
my bowl of power.
Everything's better when you've got a bowl of power.
Everything
Often-
is better. Oh wow,
Often
my
the bowl
notes
of
for
power is
review.
filled with Jaffa cakes, so it is fueled by
Congrats,
the power of
Fars.
Jaffa.
Yeah, that's where I put my Jeffas.
So, you should
We're right.
It's only reluctantly.
It sounds out as well.
Do we have any questions from
Oh, yeah.
chat? Have we had any questions? Oh, we got a couple.
Like good ones. Apart from the what the fuck is going on with Ben, as one. Otherwise, how did we all meet?
Ooh,
That hasn't
Ooh.
been asked before.
I think
No,
not.
I think not.
So I met Phil recently after I moved to Bristol. I had pretty much one brother and no friends. That was the totality of people I knew in Bristol. Of course, my family, my nephews and my sister-in-law. And I was looking for a group to play any RPG really. So someone recommended a Bristol area role-playing games group, and I just went for it. Found a small group, which Phil was part of, and I started DMing a campaign. He was the one who was contacted by Blood on the Thames and Titus and Mitch, and he
And
drew me in.
Yep. Yes. Again, the cast, as you've seen, is amazing, and oh my god, is D&D game so much fun.
So that's how I got to Blood on the Thames, thanks to Phil.
I think if that kind of transfers to me after that. So for me, I had recently got into RPGs about 5-6 months in, thinking I want to do a bit more. I want to explore a little more, and the thing for the auditions popped up on Facebook. So I thought, what the hell? I'll have a go. I will never get anywhere. A year later,
Here we go.
after meeting Titus and Dylan and everyone in this, had
So in my case, I was sort of looking for role-playing groups in Bristol, and Titus was running a D&D game, which I went and played in, and they said, hey, have you ever thought about playing a vampire game? And we're doing auditions and things. They had to explain to me a few things, like what Twitch is and how it all works. And once I've been brought into kind of vaguely the modern era, you know, because I don't like electronics, I'm with Emrys on this. It's not really true. But yeah, once they'd done that, yeah, then I went to the auditions, and the rest, as they say, is history. But I assume the people you really want to hear from is Titus, really, as to how he got into this.
Right, the audio's back on.
Oh, you can hear me now.
So you have the bowl of power, but Dylan has the slider of power.
Yeah, well, let's not lie. Dylan's the one with
Volume,
power.
no volume. Volume, no volume.
Dilly.
The Dilly.
Dilly.
The mighty Dylan. So is my mic on, or am I just talking
mic's
to
on,
these guys?
yeah.
Oh wow. Oh hi guys.
I think it's intro level, so.
So was the question how we all
How we all met.
How we all met. So as these guys have kind of hinted at, when I moved to Bristol, I started up a D&D game, which ran for about 2 years. And throughout all of this, Mitch was one of the people that joined my game. He was actually the first person to get in touch with me for the game. And I'd been harking on for ages and ages about how I was going to do a live stream. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get it done. And everyone else was like, yeah, shut up, just run the game. but then I kind of clued Mitchell in, like, hey, we should do this together. And then he brought Dilly into it, who also joined my D&D game. And then
that's high praise from Dylan, by the way. That's really full on.
Yeah.
When you come on camera, Dylan, come on.
No.
No.
Willie.
Come on,
you can do it.
Go on, Dilly.
Oh
You
my
can
God.
answer. You can answer. They never see you on camera.
Bring on the
I
Dilly.
feel
Oh my
like
God.
this is like a David Attenborough moment. You know?
And here we see the Dylan.
It's confrontation.
I can just stand above frame a bit.
I think that'd be cool.
There we go.
Yeah. Just your torso.
Hello.
Hello.
It is the Dilly.
Hello. So what about me meeting people?
Yeah.
Um,
Do you before me?
Well, I met Mitch because we were in a filmmaking course together, which we just finished. So he brought me in Titus's game because I started playing D&D. Played for a while, and then we just he sort of brought me in and was like, hey, do you want to run the tech and stuff for this thing? Do you have an idea of how it works? I was like, not really, but I can figure it out. So okay, well, let's just get started. So it was a conversation which me, Mitch, and Titus had in the old apartment, kind of at night sometime, like in that weird hall. It was bizarre. It was a bit bizarre.
It was.
But it was quite funny. And then that's when we decided we'll run Thames, and I met everybody else through that. And yeah, it was fun.
So yeah.
And that was over a year ago we started having this
It
conversation.
was quite a while ago now.
Yeah.
Well, we used to plan for it, and I wanted to get a small group together just to get a game going, just where we play on camera and try, because I've always been a big presser of bringing new people into the hobby. So because I find that quite a few, it's a stereotype on my part, but it is kind of true with the people I've met, that some DMs and the like aren't great at bringing new people into the hobby. They normally insist on some measure of experience, and that puts quite a few new people off. So I've always felt that if there's a way that you can branch out to people that want to have a look at RPGs but don't have the money to invest in it yet, then streaming was a great way of doing that, because there was quite a few people that wanted to join my games but weren't close to me, and I'd show them any of the other streams online, and they got into it and they liked it. So I was like, right, I want to do the same thing, and I want to do it with something that wasn't Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, in the future maybe Dungeons and Dragons, but I wanted to go in with my original RPG, which is Vampire. And then I got that going with Mitch. I pulled in Callum. He pulled in Dilly. We got
Callum's
the group together.
Come in as well.
No,
He's like, no.
Callum's
I
running the
can't
tech
tell.
while the Dilly is here.
I can't tell whether or not that's I'm not doing it, or I will cut your head off.
you have to understand that Callum doesn't normally turn up on film anyway.
He is.
Callum is our tech ghoul number A.
Yeah. And
For those playing the home game.
yes. So once we got that going, we got some auditions going for who we wanted to do. Peter was in my game anyway, and I wanted to do that. We had a few other people. Then obviously I got Rachel, and then Phil, and then Phil goes ahead, hey, I know someone else, let's interview Carlos. And then I brought Carlos in. And then we all found a space to do it, and then got started from there, really. And it was a big improvement where we currently are. It's not quite as sweltering.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of gone from there. It's gone a lot longer than we thought it would.
Yep.
Initially. People seem to have taken to it a lot better. Which
and
is
the reason it's gone
'cause you
for
guys
as long as it has is because of you. I can't.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's what he meant.
He's
Good
saying
means
thank you.
Stop making him cry.
Yeah.
God damn.
Right.
So, are there any other questions, Dylan?
Oh yeah, I got a list of them.
I like it. It's like, now I'm away from the screen. I don't care. I'm done.
I'm here to stay then.
You're just going to be like telling us, like whispering in our ear, do this now, do this.
We love you, Phil.
Bye, everybody. Would you hold it together if your reflection turns out to be someone else?
To who?
Ooh. To any.
Start with,
Let's start with Peter.
Would I hold it together if my reflection turns out to be someone else? As in me?
Yes, you personally.
I mean, no. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm exactly like Benjamin, but no, I would not hold it together in the slightest if my reflection turned up someone else. I think that's actually quite a freaky thing. Like, we see it in movies a lot as a nice trick, and it almost becomes expected sometimes now when I'm watching a show, But if it actually happened to me in real life, it'll be ugly and messy, I can tell you.
Funny, they ask. I used to have a recurrent dream that was exactly that when I was a kid, and I think it has to do with very like airings in Venezuela of the dubbed version of, I think the name in English is Quantum Leap.
Oh yeah.
And it's an old show
Classic, man.
that was like
Yeah.
dubbed and aired in Venezuela, and this guy would be jumping into new people's bodies. So every time he saw his reflection, it would be somebody else. And it was quite. I was a kid when I watched that, and I would have recurrent dreams. Some of them turning into nightmares because it would be me talking to my parents and saying, "This is me," and then looking at somebody different until I looked in the mirror, lost it, and woke up. So I know for a fact that I would lose it because that was like the trigger for me to get out of those recurring dreams was looking into a mirror. So I would like freak out enough so I would wake up. It was weird.
What about you, Phil?
If I was looking in the mirror and see someone different, I think it depends on who's the other side of the mirror, to be honest. Because if it's another me, it's another me. It's just yes. But if it was someone who I find
completely different.
Yeah, I mean, like
certainly who I find quite attractive, I'll be going hello.
So clearly, if I looked into the mirror and suddenly I realised I was actually Idris Elba, I'd be like, oh great,
It depends on what's the other side, or who or what is the other side of the mirror. It depends on either yay or a complete psychological breakdown.
I would lose it regardless.
I think if it was me, I'd be like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I'm not crazy. And then, I'd probably talk to myself in the mirror.
Who doesn't?
So there you go.
Well, that's what I do. What?
Anything else?
Any last questions before we?
Questions.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much does Titus enjoy screwing with Malkavians?
Oh, there's not a scale high enough for, Malkavians alone or anyone?
That was the direct question.
Okay. For the Malkavians, we'll say 10. For everyone else, there's MasterCard. I think that, it's not. Let's not be picky. It's everyone.
Players, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why I do what I do. Seeing everybody kind of tremble in anticipation.
That's why
of the
we're
horrors.
such proponents of equality. You mess with everybody
Yeah,
equally,
I'm not
regardless of
gonna select
clan or affiliation, sect affiliation.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You're gonna suffer.
I'm an equal opportunities kind of sadist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're egalitarian.
Yeah. So let's just say a blanket 10 and cover it at that.
And everyone and everything.
Yeah. So, any other questions, dear Lee?
That is all.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for your questions.
Oh, hang on, there's one.
Just something just popped up.
And for this extra question?
What is the extra?
No, I think it might have just been Titus seeing himself in a mirror.
Again.
Cool.
All done?
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks to our new patrons. And congrats, Frassisas.
Yes, congrats, Brassisas. You legend. So, we back?
Mm-hmm.
We back?
Yes.
Hello. I never leave. I don't know why I keep saying hello. Okay, so let's go back into it. What should we start with? We're not going to start with Phil. So, you've gotten your head down. So this is coming towards the end of the night.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to do in the last few hours?
I feel like Benjamin feels like he's done enough has happened for one night. He's happy to quit while he's ahead, as it were.
Okay.
I think he will just be ruminating on everything that's happened, wondering which bits are real and which bits are not, kind of hoping that some of it wasn't real.
Okay.
The Plucky Jake bits primarily, but I think it's all just a bit it's all happened in one night. I think he's just resting and trying to make sense of it all, really.
Okay, so whereabouts are you ruminating?
Well, I've got a room in the flat which is my own, sort of as a workspace, but also it's kind of got a place where I can sleep that is well sunproofed and protected. So probably there.
Okay. So, as you've got into your room, you're taking a seat, and you're starting to feel very heavy. And then you hear from behind you.
I'll turn and look.
Standing in the corner is Lewis.
Lewis.
I'm trying to remember who Lewis is now, aren't you?
I'm like, Lewis?
Think your prelude.
Oh, okay. All right.
I should have believed you, you know.
Yes, you should have done.
The thing in the woods that you didn't want to go near.
Yes.
No. I didn't want to go near. Or did I?
I think you were curious at first, and then you realised that, well, it might be dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think you were probably right on that front.
Do you know, I never gave you enough credit for your imagination. I mean, the things in the woods, I mean, that's simple, but to come up with someone like me, I mean, you knew everything about me to the last detail.
Well, that's because, you know, we lived close together, and...
Did we?
Well, yes, and
Which
we
one of
went
you?
on walks together.
Which one?
Benjamin. You live close to Benjamin,
No.
didn't you? We go walking, and I mean, we weren't very close, but we talked, didn't we? And it was pleasant, you know. It wasn't.
Afraid not. But then again, I never had those conversations with Simon either.
Well, then who did you have those conversations with?
Either. I don't exist. I never have. But you need to fill in the blocks in your memory. So you create. I mean, that's what an artist does, right? Can I take a seat? So he goes and sits himself at the end of the bed. His back to you.
I mean, I know you can't really be here. I know you can't really be here right now, but we.
I'm about as here as I've ever been in any one of your recollections of me. So, I mean, if you want to count that as me being here, then.
I mean, the risk of making this. I mean, I'm aware that you can't be here, and I'm talking to you as if you're here, and I understand that isn't very sensible. But you know, you really do seem here. So why would you come and do that? If I made you up, I would not make up you to come here and have this conversation because it's very unsettling. So I wouldn't make that up. Why would I do that?
Perhaps this is more comfortable. And as you look, it's Kelly.
Oh no. Oh no.
Although, did you imagine me taller or shorter?
Maybe more tired.
Oh, I'm gonna be tired. I mean, and she gestures over towards your cabinet, and there is a baby lying on it.
He told me. I didn't really believe it when he told me.
Why? I mean, what is real? I mean, if you've got an imagine, you know, you can remember things. I mean, if someone hurts you, like physically hurts you, or even mentally hurts you, I mean, it's fleeting. The actual physical thing, the actual stimuli. You're going to remember it.
Yes.
So can something be real without the physical stimuli? I mean, there's times where, caught off guard, you can't remember a thing about me, but even now, you can tell me everything about me.
Yes.
Does that not make me real?
yes, because the thing is that art changes things. Art is real. It is real. Doesn't matter if you can. It doesn't have to just be physical. People can feel things, and they can change through the ephemeral as well, and that is true. That is proven to be true. I know that's true. It is. But I really wanted you to be real too.
I know you did. But
Is-
I know there's a part of you that wasn't okay with it. I mean, that's why you've never given the child a face.
No, or a name.
No.
I don't know why.
Perhaps it's best not to dwell on it.
Is this you saying goodbye? I mean, I don't see how this is going to work anymore. Now.
You honestly think that this is the end of it? You think that this is how easy it is to... There's no way you're going to forget who I am,
No.
little brother.
No.
I'm always going to be there.
Yes.
Every one of us is always going to be there.
Yes.
Whether you realise we're true or not, or whether or not you kind of cling to us the way you did. I mean, that's going to come and go, it's going to change, but it's not going to be the last time you see me or hear me.
Good.
Although, this is the first time you've ever actually given me a face.
Well, I suppose we tended to conduct our relationship on the phone. It was all about your voice. You know.
In the hospital, I mean, that was a nice touch to explain why we never met.
Yes. It's quite clever, really.
But, artist.
I always wanted to be an artist.
I know. I mean, it's why you took the steps you did. I mean, for what it's worth, coming from someone that you created, I thought your art as Simon was enough.
But it wasn't enough, not for him.
He's gone now.
Yes. Yes, he is.
So, does his opinion mean as much to you now that he's not here? Can someone without a physical presence mean anything to you?
I mean, yes, and obviously, in the context of what we're talking about, it should. But I don't know. He was so there. He was so like. I mean, if you'll excuse the inappropriate example, like the sun. He was, and suddenly he isn't. You know, and now I'm just sort of left blinking in the dark. I don't. He'll always be important to me, but he's gone. I mean, I don't know if maybe I'm not a good enough artist to make him, you know.
Your father disagrees.
My father.
Art is subjective. Just because you can't put a paintbrush to a canvas the way that you want it to doesn't mean you're not an artist.
I always thought father didn't really approve of me being an artist.
Not that father. The one that you won't name.
Oh. Oh, I see. Gets muddled sometimes.
He knows.
Well, I don't know. Maybe now Edmund's gone, it will be enough. I don't know. I just don't know.
You feel her hand on your shoulder, and it grips. And then when you reach up to put your hand on it, there's nothing there. And you turn and look, and she's not there.
felt real. Well, I'll keep my own hand on my shoulder for a little bit for comfort.
Okay. Meanwhile,
I'm just burning people for comfort.
the torture is unhurried. And it progresses at a pace which would suggest that the light of the sun is not something that Plucky Jake is worried about. Even as the lethargy begins kicking in, he is still taking his time. And even though you notice that he is more lethargic, he seems content with what he's doing. Until finally, as you are beginning to feel as though you've, considerably inebriated, where everything you're doing is a conscious effort, he lifts up the absolutely decimated body of Alexander and puts it back in the box and reseals it. He does not remove the handcuffs and puts him back in there.
I just gestured with a stake just to...
He takes it, and you hear that as he drives it through the ribs. With such force, actually, that you hear the of the wood as it begins denting on the outside. Bzzz.
Is it mine? The real, the decoy, or the burner?
The special one.
Oh shit. What does it say? Is it a call? It should be a message.
It's a call.
It's a call, okay. Do I recognize the number?
It's a payphone number. Yeah, do what you need to.
Hello?
Be back here tomorrow night. Now get the fuck out of the office.
You just do that. Just go out the way I came. Try to get to the ground floor. And what time in the evening it is?
Now it's about 5 o'clock in the morning.
So I have less than an hour to get home.
Yeah. Just running late. You're in the elevator. Actually, it's about 4:30 by the time they're done.
Sorry?
It's about 4:30 by the time you're done. So you got an hour and a half.
Okay, an hour and a half. I just get out the same way I came in.
Okay.
But in the elevator,
Okay.
like before going...
You can hear kind of...
I'll go down the stairs.
You can hear
Hello?
almost fevered breathing.
Hello?
I don't know what to do.
Who is it?
Sounds like Susan.
It's like Susan. Susan, are you okay?
I don't know who you are.
I'm a friend.
She needs you.
Where are you?
Home. Her home.
Her first house?
Yeah.
That was smart. Is she okay?
No.
How far away am I?
You're not gonna make it there.
Go to this address. Take her with you. You'll be able to hold up there. No one will look for you there. Place will be open. Okay. And I give her the address of my condo. And I go myself ahead of them to make sure that the security systems are online and that no one is following them. And even if they're following them, we have escape route. Everything.
Okay. So you head back to your place.
Yeah.
And by the time you get into the door, you're practically falling over yourself. And you manage to key in with considerable effort the codes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, where are you falling asleep?
I'm going to my room, the one that is 100% blacked out. Before that, what I do is I grab one of my recorders, normal with the mini cassette voice recorders, and I just say, Feel free to stay here for the day. I'll be back in the evening. Anything you need, you can find in the drawers. And I just put it there. With as much of effort I can, I scribble "play me" in a post-it, and put it in, and I just go into my room and lock it, and then it just slump over it. Like proper lock it, key, even inside.
Jim, what did you roll for your fear frenzy?
I would say 2.
Yeah.
No, sorry, for the fear frenzy.
No, for the fear
no, I
frenzy,
didn't.
for
I didn't roll for the frenzy.
No,
Oh,
you
you had no
automatically
willpower.
failed. Okay.
Oh yeah, because he had no willpower. Oh, shit, boy.
Your mind goes blank, which is perhaps, in hindsight, a relief. But the moment you make contact with the ground, the sheer proximity of the flames is what sets you off. Plus the fact that part of your body is still burning. And the way that you thrash on the ground, although you're not fully aware of it, is so violent and vigorous. Not only do you dent the bins that are close by and send debris scattering all over the alleyway, you also rip open most of your clothing from the sheer force behind your tumbling back and forth. And then when you pick yourself up, you run, a complete bloody mess, away from the alleyway, down the street, shouldering past onlookers who are staring at the burning building, snarling as you throw people from their feet in your desperation to get away. Everything else is a blur. By the time you begin to gain control, you feel immensely heavy. And then when you do fall asleep, it's in a place you don't know. I need everyone
Mouse checks.
to roll rouse checks.
No.
Hell yeah! Staying at hunger 1 for important conversations with little people.
Everyone. Ow! 1.
Hunger 2.
Rouse check.
You're gonna
Trying to heal.
Fuck up again, man.
This says something about your way of life, you know?
I only go to hunger 2.
That's
Okay.
actually quite lucky.
That was quite lucky.
Super lucky.
One
Some
day.
might say disgusting.
Yes.
Lucky.
When you wake up, Jim, you are surrounded by construction buildings. You are in construction lot, and the thing that's been sheltering you from the sun, barely, is the cover of the trailer that you have dug your way underneath. Your hands are bloodied. The left and right side of your form, including the side of your face, are burnt to the degree of 3rd-degree burns or worse. There was fleeting contact with flames, but when it comes to fire, the kindred body, you are fucked up. And to say you are a masquerade breach is putting it lightly. You could hide what happened to you last time with a scarf or similar. You are fucked. You can hear footsteps around the construction yard, but there's only 1 or 2. You can hear machinery suggesting people are still at work. But you are very much otherwise on your own. And the beast, for its own sake, is satiated. You know you've healed because you feel hungrier. and there is a numbness about some of the wounds, which in the past has suggested to you that there used to be an injury there that has healed. And you can tell by the red marking around your flesh, just like brand new skin. And if that's what you're like partially healed, you hesitate to think what you were like last night. What are you doing?
I'm gonna pull out the old Nokia phone, because those old things are fucking indestructible. Those old things are fucking indestructible. Have you tried?
Yeah. Tell you what, so that I feel guilt-free, roll 3 black dice for me. Actually, 3 red dice. Let's make this interesting. If you get a skull, it's broke.
Those damn Nokia are indestructible!
So,
Blood on the Thames.
the Nokia
Sponsored
phone,
by Nokia.
slightly singed,
You
is still
imagine.
operational.
That was
And by
terrifying.
singed, I mean that part of the screen is like blacked at a corner.
Maybe the keys a little bit, but it's everything's okay. You just
Just so you know, this isn't a kind of promotion for Nokia. We're not saying, get a phone, it's indestructible.
I don't think that's a relief. Go Ben.
Who do you need in a crisis?
Oh my god.
If there's a problem and no one else can help, then you can find him. Anyway, sorry.
You are not the A team. You are not the B team. You're not even the S team, let's face it. Bzzzt. Your eyes, which are already open, flicker over towards the phone on your night side. The place where the baby previously was. And now your phone just sits.
Do I recognise the number?
Yeah.
Is it his? Hello?
I could use some help.
His voice sounds wow, it takes you a moment to place that it is Jim.
Okay.
Because his throat is fucked.
Where are you?
I'm in some sort of construction site.
All right. Which one?
I haven't figured that out yet.
All right. What's the last thing you remember?
Cross hands exploding.
All right. Where are you? I mean, is there any way to identify where? If you have a look in your immediate, area, is there anything where if I do find this place where I can find you?
I'll have a look around.
Intelligence plus streetwise. Add a -1 penalty unless you're willing to venture out from where you are.
Not yet. Not quite yet.
Yeah, so -1.
1.
I'm in Manchester.
You don't know where it is. You know that roughly this is the other side of London.
About the other side of London, there are sands.
All right. I will. Obviously, I'm going to have to work out where you might be and then come find you. So just stay where you are.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'll keep my phone handy.
And a little warning. The side that you're gonna see is gonna shock you.
All right. I'll brace myself. Thank you for the warning, Jim.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else that needs to know or call, or should I just come directly?
If you focus on getting me out of here, because I'm at.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. And are you in any immediate danger? I mean, are there things, people, whatever?
I hear a few construction workers around.
All right. Oh, yes. That's fine. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. All right. All right. Bye. Bye. Gonna go out to the main bit of the flat. Is Amelia around?
Amelia's not.
Okay.
But then again, that's not unusual for you. She normally goes out early to try and sort affairs before you rise.
Yeah.
And then tends to be contactable at the same number whenever you
Okay.
buzz her, and then she'll be...
I'm gonna have a look at the paintings, which of course are now, well, I assume are the normal-looking paintings.
Normal-looking paintings.
But nevertheless, my eyes will linger on the third, and I will phone Moses.
Bzzzt.
Does this wake me up, or am I already awake?
This would be happening after you've gone up.
Okay.
As you are getting up and stirring, but before you leave your room.
with a mask of 1,000 faces.
Okay.
It's open and go out.
You're gonna go out?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you? So you're not answering your phone?
Who is it?
Ben.
Hello, Ben.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I spent the night at mines. Why? Where are you?
I'm fine. I just wanted to make sure you're all right.
Yeah. The reason
So
I
nothing's
didn't
happened yet?
No. The reason I didn't
Oh,
go
good.
back to the cross hands after my clan business is because I wasn't nearby, so I came to my place.
All right. I've got to attend to some things, but you stay safe, all right? And if you need anything, you just call me.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm gonna be taking care of some personal matters, but I'll be contactable. So.
All right. And yes, good. But if you see anything dangerous, you just let me know, and you stay safe.
Did you see anything else?
Fire. I saw flames. It's fine. It's fine. I think you're obviously fine now. Just keep an eye out.
Just take out my Sipo out of my bag, out of my pocket. Just because he said fire, I just put my Sipo on my room. Okay, I'll stay safe.
All right.
Cheers.
And then I'll basically be trying to find out where there are construction sites in the city that might be on the opposite end of the city to the crossed hands, and then from there I will no doubt start driving to construction sites.
Okay. So are you trying to do this quickly, or are you just going to go from one to the other?
As in, am I going to go, as in work out which one it
Yeah.
is quickly?
Basically, do you want to make a check, or do you just want to go from one to the other?
I'd like to make a check, because I think Benjamin would try and narrow it down for a place to start,
sure.
even if he ultimately ends up
So
going through them all.
wits plus streetwise.
My favourite pool. Okay.
Because he hasn't said anything specific about it that would
He-
need
no,
an investigation.
no.
So
1.
okay. Yeah, I mean it's not difficult to kind of pick out where it is based on like what specifically did you say to him?
The other side of London, which is
Okay.
The other
So,
side
I mean,
to the crossed hands
rough
construction
side
site.
of the Dutch, and there's probably two that you could go to. Unfortunately, one of them is on the north of London, the other one is on the southwest.
Which one do I think is easiest for me to get to first?
Southwest.
Go to that one first.
Okay. All right. So you're heading there.
Yeah.
Okay. Moses.
Just open the door and check the house.
Okay. The moment you open the door, you see the movement. Susan is there. She has her hand in her pocket. The moment she sees you, she turns her back and takes a step back. And you can hear from the sofa that's hidden from you, breathing.
I'm a friend. Allow me to explain. And I just walk to the office and I let her see what I'm doing. And I go to one of my cabinets, which I unlock. Is that from the couch? I open one of the drawers and I get Lucy's case file. And I open it in the counter, in the kitchen counter for her. So I'm sure you remember Steve. And I pull the file with a picture of...
She stays close to the sofa, but she looks from one to the other.
It was discovered in an investigation. Steve had approached your half-sister through something called, in the shadows, the grooming ring. They target vulnerable children or children with vulnerable guardians. You would know your sister was a known alcoholic and drug addict. So this Steve targeted her until one night he was left to be alone with Lucy. That's the night I met Lucy. And the reason nothing happened to her is because I am the one who threw Steve down the stairs.
Why were you in her room?
You might want to sit down. And I just circle around so I can be in the chairs that are in front of my couch, so I am in full view of potentially Lucy.
Lucy is there. She has bags under her eyes, which suggests she hasn't slept. She's breathing, not necessarily heavily, but every now and again she's coughing. And she looks extremely thin.
I go around. Hey there, girl. How are you doing?
You know Moses?
It's me.
You're uglier than Moses.
I know, but I'm not allowed to show my face to Susan.
Why?
It's the rules. You know the rules. We don't challenge the rules.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
Tired.
You want to sleep a little longer? And then Susan and I can figure out how to get you better?
No.
No? Because I got Foggy's old room.
I want to stay up for a bit.
Okay. So I sit down, and this is where I, without going into any detail at all, talk to, mainly because Lucy is here, so I make it abundantly clear to Susan that it's because the girl is around that I'm not going to go into the detail that I need to. But about how the grooming ring deal with
Lucy does fall asleep.
Sorry?
Lucy does fall asleep.
Okay. How
But she keeps flitting in and out of consciousness.
That's starting to worry me. I tell her how the grooming ring has been dealing with human trafficking, child abuse, actually made a business out of it, and people like yours truly who have suffered abuse. Let's say that some of us cannot stand by the sidelines while it happens. So what happened to Steve was me staking him out. But what happened afterwards, once he went to jail, are the efforts of one good man, one who will not stand by the sidelines, but use the law as well. You might know his name. He's the one who granted you guardianship of Lucy. Alan Burr.
I know Alan Burr.
So in the pickle you are in now, get him. I will fund it. I will pay for it. Anything he needs to be paid.
If I tell them where I am, they'll take Lucy from me.
Yes. But if you don't, God will take Lucy from you. And also from me. She's the only person who I have shown myself to. The only person. And at the beginning I thought, hey, it's okay. She's a 4-year-old. Not a problem. It's been 3 years. I've not been able to get rid of the little girl. Because I care for her. Because of how close I got to see her being and feeling helpless.
Charisma plus persuasion.
I rouse. I will willpower. Oh, I cannot willpower red dice. That is 2 successes. Then I go hungry. Now what's wrong with Lucy?
She has a tumor in the lung. She was misdiagnosed. Oh, and by the time we found out about it,
Metastasis?
she's very far along.
Take my phone. Send a text to Sexy Pearl. Get me a meeting now. Please, Moses.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do. There is this group of, I think the word you use in here is physicians, I guess. They're south of London, Camberwell area. King's College Hospital. Well, actually, there's 2 hospitals there. I'll see what I can do and try to get a pediatric oncologist to treat her, or at least to check on her tonight if possible. No questions asked. If, Susan, if she is allowed in, and if these people are willing to do me a favor, then I will ask you to contact Alan Burr. And while they take care of Lucy, let Alan Burr take care of you.
Take her away from me.
No. She needs you. She needs you, Susan. You're the only thing she has. You're the only one she has. Every other person that has meant anything for that little girl has been taken away from her. Every single one. And I've promised her that I will not be gone. And trust me, the last few nights I've struggled to keep that promise. Because my life is not my own when you're in this line of business. I cannot provide her with the life she deserves, even if I manage to get her healed. It's your drive, Susan, the one that makes me stay and stand watch over the 2 of you. The man who broke into your house, the arsonist, it was me and my people who stopped him. That incident that you had, you were not crazy. Someone is playing with your head. Because Lucy knew too much of the smuggling ring that they had on people. They are trying to get to you, so you do this and break. Don't you break. Don't quit up on me. Don't quit up on her. You know now that I exist, and I think it should not go without saying. You'll take that to your grave as well. I do not exist. But as long as you keep that secret, you have someone to fall back to. You have someone that has your corner. No matter what, no matter when, no matter where. You have to keep doing what you're doing. You have to be with her. You have to protect her. You have to guard her like you have. I'll get you all the help you need. And that girl still represents the innocence that was taken from me and you both, because I also know your story. She is worth the sacrifice. Let's fucking make that sacrifice.
She puts down the knife that she'd been holding and goes and sits under Lucy, who stirs as she nears, and then she picks her up and cradles her. And it's in contrast to Susan. Now you see how small she's gotten. She was small anyway, but it's like she hasn't been fed for a while. But knowing Susan, you know that she has.
No, it's absolutely.
And Lucy wakes for a moment, sees that it's Susan, smiles, and then falls asleep again. And that's how you leave.
I start making every single arrangement.
Bzzzt. Important or not?
Critical.
1 hour.
Done. And during that hour, I get every single piece, like everything that I need to get sorted, finances wise, for Alan Burr, because he's representing my company.
Yeah.
I don't want my company being connected to the funds that Susan's gonna have.
Okay.
But so Alan Burrs receives them from the anonymous donations he's been receiving for the task force he wants to do for against human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll do the math, but the math is going to be away from Noah Miller and my mask.
Mm-hmm.
She's just gonna know somebody's up there. Probably, like, it's just, I'm just gonna call a taxi, make it simple, and start writing on the computer everything I need. Instructions in case, like, put up again if I don't log in the next 7 days, throw it out, roll it out completely. Things that I need for Alan Burr, and a letter to Alice.
Okay.
That's it. I just get on the cab and go immediately.
Cool. You drive over towards the construction site, and you survey as best you can without going there. There's not much activity there, but there is some. And there is no sign of Jim, unless he's hiding particularly well.
Yeah.
There is no sign of Jim, and you're trying to wonder whether or not Jim is there and hiding, and you just can't see him, or whether or not you've gone to the wrong place.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Well, I will try phoning Jim at this point.
Bzzzt.
Super Nokia to the rescue!
Puts this to his ear, breaks.
Aggravated damage to the ear.
Hello, it's me. I'm at one of the places where I'm hoping you are. It's this one or a different one.
Right.
Can you see a orange crane with the initials AFD on the side, or words, whatever I can see, effectively?
I will see if I can. Oh,
Oh dear. I'll call you later.
shit.
And you begin making your way to the other side. It's quite a leisurely drive for you. I mean, you're still in a mildly somber mood. I mean, your exterior mood is, entirely up to you. But there is a somber kind of undertone that you can't seem to shift. And perhaps a little longer than Jim would like, you managed to pull up towards the construction yard. The other one that you were looking at, the one north of the city.
I'll look for another large crane or object that will be easily visible or prominent, a building or something, and I'll call Jim back with that. So I'll see. I'll say, can you see it? It's got quite a distinct roof.
Yep, there's the one.
Then I'm in the right place.
Right.
Whereabouts are you?
I'll say where I am at this point.
Oh, middle area of the construction yard, where the actual trailer is, where they do all.
He's inside the construction.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not in the trailer. He's under it.
Oh, okay. Whew.
So
He dug his way under.
Okay, got it.
okay. Well, I'll drive somewhere without being like my car looking really weird. I'll drive as near as I feel I can get, and then I'll walk the rest of the way.
Okay.
I think during which time I'll have looked over myself to see what animal trait I've gotten as, of course, frenzy.
Okay. Your animal trait. You realise that the reason why your feet feel strange
Sorry, it sounds funny.
It sounds horrible.
is that your knees are backwards.
Okay, this is a new one.
See, I told you it sounded horrifying.
The dot that's reduced. Could be either one. It's dexterity.
Thought so.
Because there's no way in hell you could justify being as coordinated on your feet when your legs are bowed.
Like deer legs.
Yeah.
Bending the other way.
Or even dog legs.
Or dog, yeah.
You know.
Quadruped hind legs.
So, how are you two going to reconnect with one another? There are still people on the construction yard.
Okay, so
It is brightly lit because obviously safety reasons. So there are floodlights.
Okay. Do the floodlights, is the coverage of them excellent, or are there areas where they don't cover?
because it would need to be to meet standard.
You have to.
Okay. Am I able to push my hearing without pushing my vision? No, in heightened senses, or is it an all or
I'll let you make a check.
What kind of check would you like me to make?
We'll say wits plus awareness plus all specs, but if you fail,
Then I won't be able to do
actually
it.
minus your all specs.
Okay, so wits plus awareness.
I like it, I like it.
Yeah. Wits. Awareness.
Yeah, it would have to be something like that because it's through all perception rolls. So.
3 successes.
Okay. It takes you a moment, and there is a brief moment where the flood of the lights kind of makes you turn away, but you do manage to, after a moment, kind of settle it, keep your eyes shut. And although you can feel like, it's like when someone's shining a light when you got them shut, it's like bright, but you manage to shut it out and you put your hearing.
So I will activate Silence of Death, because I know roughly the building or the area that Jim is in. And then what I will do is I will, I guess like any good stealth game, identify where people are by the noises that they're making, and then, obviously because I'm silent, move quickly from one place to another and try and get to Jim.
Okay. Alright, so we will say Dex plus stealth. Oh no, we'll say strength plus stealth. However, Because you're moving quickly, you're not moving silently. Strength plus stealth, but you can add your obfuscate dots as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're dashing for it
Yeah,
because
okay.
it doesn't matter.
Well, that's 3 successes.
Okay.
It's quite surprising.
So
given
you
that
dart from one place to the other, and you are uncomfortably aware that you are illuminated by the fluorescent lights. Fluorescent lights? The floodlights, as you're making your way over towards this trailer. And Jim, you can hear nothing. But as you're glancing out, trying to look around and see where he comes, you can see, Benjamin-style boots just appear at the side, or shoes at the side of the trailer. And as you're looking around, you can see a not quite so subtle hole that's been dug
Okay.
on the side.
So I will listen out. Are there any construction workers who seem very close at this point? Is there anyone like really close to where we are that might overhear us if we're whispering?
No.
Okay. So in that case, I will let Silence of Death drop, and I will crouch. I won't actually stick my head under, but I'll crouch down and say, "I'm here."
Please tell me you brought a blanket.
Did you lower Silence of Death?
Yes. Otherwise, it would be like. So you didn't mention to bring a blanket.
My bad then. Alright. It's safe for me to come out.
So, there are still lots of people here, and it's really exceptionally well lit for this time of night.
Shit.
Getting out is going to be difficult.
Bring it round!
So, but I suppose you could. How bad are you?
I'm fucked up.
Do I think you could come out from the trailer without being seen immediately?
It would be a matter of timing.
Okay.
Unless you want to wait until people have gone home. But you're not sure how long that'll be.
I might. I'll say. If will you be able to run if need be?
Not as fast as I'd usually be able to.
All right. If I'll wait a little. If there's a chance, I'll give you a signal. And if there isn't, I'm going to have to come back when they've gone. All right.
Right.
I get the impression that you being seen is the absolute worst case here.
Oh yes, you do.
All right.
You're. Yeah, that's why I gave you the warning.
You can hear footsteps.
Okay. Well, I will reactivate Silence of Death, and I'm going to move so that to put maybe the trailer between me and the footsteps.
Okay, so you dart around the side and you see 2 guys walking across, one of which has tools that he's got clutched underneath, and the other one's moving with a wheelbarrow, and they start making their way across, cutting straight away from where you currently are. They're talking, and every now and again one of them turns to look at the other one, and you have to push yourself right further back against the trailer to ensure that you're not seen.
I mean, Benjamin's risk assessment, because he always goes on the side of safety, is suggesting that this is going to be really difficult to get Jim out in this current situation.
Yes.
So I'm going to come back when they've gone.
Okay.
Because then it will just be I mean, why? I can't think of any reason why Benjamin would say, hey, let's have a crazy escape.
Let's have a crazy madcap adventure.
Exactly. You come to the wrong character. So I'm just gonna either find a place to hide here if I think that is less risky, or go back out to the car and wait
that's
there.
probably better.
Then I will do that, and
Okay.
I will wait.
Okay. So.
Oops.
Sorry.
So. We'll cut back away from you.
Sure.
Moses, the taxi takes you towards the hospital.
Oh, I feed the puppy,
Okay.
and while we wait,
The puppy's still in the condo.
my puppy's in my condo, yeah.
Uh,
Unless it has like a bow tie now or something, then.
whatever you want it to have.
Well, no, it depends on Lucy really. But if she's been really ill,
The
then-
thing is, it's quite a if anything, it's a big kind of hard hitter just how weak she is, in the fact that the puppy's there and it's licking her hands and she's looking at it smiling, but there's no other reaction from her.
As long as that, yeah, just put them together, so the puppy just is with her. Put a little bit of food for the puppy. Add a line for the puppy in the letter, just in case something happens to me. Someone comes and takes care of the puppy.
Harry Nuss.
Sorry.
Might want to reword that. Harry Nuss will be like, right, got it.
Yeah,
Taking care of the
he's
puppy.
supposed to be dead.
Okay.
Supposed to.
Can't just let me have my moment, can you? So.
Where's if Plucky Jake gets it?
Take care of the puppy. All right. So, for you, Moses. Sorry.
I get on the taxi.
Okay.
Drive. Well,
Takes you over towards the hospital. And then parks up in the front.
no, I told them to park whatever we're supposed to meet. When I just text back.
Oh, they just said, they
Sexy
didn't
bird.
give you a location. They just said.
I just
1
like
hour.
which entry.
Same as before.
Oh, it's just underground. Oh, same as before, around. Okay. That's what I tell. I tell the guy to drop us, not in the front gate, but on the side that we're.
Okay. So he drives around, stops, takes out his hand for payment.
Yeah. Just pay. Thank you very much. Grab the girl. Start walking with my satchel, the girl, and Susan. And I walk all the way to that same entrance.
Okay.
Do I see the game of lights again?
So have you taken Lucy with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you're carrying Lucy,
See. Yeah, sorry, yes.
and then she's largely out of it at this point as you're taking her. Every now and again she does wake up and glance around, kind of out of interest, and then once or twice she'll walk just kind of staring without questioning, but just staring where you go, and then she'll just go fall asleep again. And you make your way over towards the rear, and you know this is the door you're supposed to go through, because whereas the other lights are dimmed, this one's flashing. And then as soon as you step through it, the light goes off, and then you step through. And as before, there are lights illuminating the way towards an elevator.
I tell Susan to wait for me outside. Just as I'm about to go, it's like I just spin her the most believable lie. It goes without saying this is not necessarily legal.
Sure. Roll manipulation plus subterfuge.
Okay. And I rouse.
He's one hell of a liar.
Oh, he really is.
7 successes, critical win.
She stays fucking put.
I mean, it's just the most believable lie. It goes without saying this is not precisely legal. These guys are not gonna notify any authorities, and they're gonna look into what she has. And I hand her my burner. Just change the chip. You should get Alan Burr. He's there in the directory, in the address book. Get Alan Burr. Do not mention my name. Mention the case.
She strokes out Lucy's hair, and then steps back,
It's like,
kind of gripping herself in a way to kind of steady herself, as it was, as she watches you step off into the building.
just let him know that Lucy was indirectly related with somebody from that ring, from that human trafficking ring, and ask for help because they've been messing with you. And I just go in with the girl.
So you step into the elevator, and you look up towards the dial. But rather than go up, it goes down. And then when the doors open, there is a black corridor with lights going off towards the right. And every time you step past a light, it flicks off until one is illuminated above a door, which says morgue.
I open the door.
You open the door, and there are 2 tables. One is clear. The other one is occupied by a body which is in the middle of being dissected by a single person who is stood there with gloves and a mask, and he has a doctor's headpiece and small round glasses. And the moment that you open the door, he stops and looks at you. And even through the mask, you can see the slight bunches of a smile that's on his face. Hello, Moses.
Good evening.
I understand this was an important meet.
It is.
And who is this?
An innocent in need of help.
If she's in need of help, can I know her name?
Lucy. Lucy Crown.
Is that her actual name?
Yes, it is.
Please, make her comfortable. And he gestures towards the free bench.
I put her there, take off my own hoodie, and cover her, or use it as a pillow, however I see that I can make her comfortable.
She is not dead.
Yet.
More pessimistic than I thought you'd be. He begins taking the gloves off.
She was misdiagnosed. She has a lung tumor.
That is most unfortunate.
From what I heard, it has metastasized and is beyond control.
Very unfortunate.
Beyond mundane control.
I see. If you would... There's a bar on the door. I'm not expecting to be interrupted, but this is to ensure that you stay for the duration.
Will it take long?
Depends on you. The door, please.
I just go to the door.
You push it in place, and then you feel it set. And as you kind of slightly tug it back, you realize it's not moving.
Yeah. Cool.
Take a seat, please. And there's a seat next to her bench.
Are you gonna name your price?
This depends entirely on what you want me to achieve. To cure her?
Preferably, yes. Ideally, just to heal her. Let her have the happy life she deserves. She's been harassed, victim of abuse that I managed to stop. She's been through, she had to live through the death of her mother and the constant harassment of her that her guardian has been subject to, even to the point of having her mental health questioned. So now this poor little girl is on the brink of not only dying, but even if she's healthy, losing everything again. I'm trying to make sure that everything that is mundane is on the up and up. But some things, a lot of things are beyond me. All I have is good intentions.
And sometimes, unfortunately, that's not enough. So stipulate for me exactly what you wish.
I wish her healed. I wish her healthy. I want you to save her life.
I believe I can do that. I have 2 things I wish from you. One, to ensure that the other occurs. First of all, your blood, which will ensure that you deliver to me what I need. Katia, I wish to have Katia Stern.
You wish to have a conversation
No.
with Katya Stern?
Consider this a life for a life.
Well,
This is the price you will have to pay.
I will. Don't get me wrong. I will willingly trade any life, including mine, for hers. I'm just thinking. Is Katya the real person the person you really want out of her bloodline, out of her clansmates? Or do you want someone stronger? Like her sire, the one who created her. Probably only have Katya's name because Needles told you. I'm just spinning tales.
There is one other name the Needles has mentioned, which
Mhm.
will be sufficient. Katia Stern or Sabine Wick.
When you can have Oliver Whitlock.
I have no interest in Oliver Whitlock.
I certainly cannot deliver Sabine Wick.
Katia Stern is your only option then.
Because she sits at the height of her clan. At the highest of echelons. With Katya. Oliver Whitlock, however.
I have no interest in Oliver Whitlock.
He is still someone.
I have no interest in Oliver Whitlock.
Can I be curious and ask what's your interest in Katya or Sabine?
I have learned specific things about these two individuals. From Needles.
Okay.
My interest is with them and them alone. This is not for negotiation. If you wish me to save the child, these are my terms.
Okay. I'll see which one I can bring.
One of them would need to be delivered.
Yeah. I just have to figure out which one is less
Within a
likely
month.
to get me killed. Jesus.
If they are not delivered within this time, then not only will my work become undone, it will become increasingly painful for her until she passes. And then when she does pass, she will be mine. These are the terms of you breaking the contract. Is this agreeable to you, Moses?
No, but I accept.
That is sufficient. First, your blood.
With one condition. I get my blood back the moment I deliver Sabine or Katya. And you do nothing with it unless I don't deliver.
This is agreeable.
I just look for a vial, bite my own arm, squeeze out. And truly enough, I go hungry. And I ask for the nearest blood bank for when he finishes. I'm gonna be feeling a little peckish.
If it's blood you require, I can provide.
Thanks. And I already, here. And I'm just sitting there waiting for him to fix Lucy. For him to fix Lucy. Then you can give me blood later, but fix her.
Takes the blood. And he goes and opens one of the morgue doors. Puts it in. Closes the door. Opens the door and it's gone. He nods and then closes it. I ask that you remain silent. She may react. Do not touch her. Do not speak. Do not move. This will not be pleasant for her. Do you understand?
Will she remember the pain?
Yes. But she will be alive to remember it.
That suddenly doesn't bring me much comfort.
Maybe her reacting to your voice after the fact will.
I will shut up. I go to a corner, sit, obfuscate 1, so that even if she moves around and thrashes, doesn't see me. And I just hide in the shadows.
Okay. Okay. You've never heard Lucy in pain. By the end of the night, you feel like it's the only thing you will ever hear. Because it sounds as though something is being removed from in her. And although he never touches her, and although his hand just goes over her, every now and again he stops over a specific point and just clenches his fists very slowly. And the moment he does, her body thrashes. And then when he opens his hand and drops it, there is a black mucus which drops out of his hand. A black, fleshy mucus. And then he moves back and he does it again. And this continues for a good 20 minutes. And she doesn't stop shouting or screaming throughout. And you're not even sure if she's unconscious. But finally, sweat covered and barely sensible, she collapses onto the metal plate. And he drops the last mucus. And then moves over towards the sink and begins washing his hands off.
Just approach him with any towel or paper towels that I find around.
Takes the power towels and begins wiping it off. She will be extremely frail for a couple of days. She will remember the pain, as I promised. But it will be as though it were a terrible nightmare. Likely a recurring one for the rest of her life, however, at least that life is now substantially longer. This is my part of the bargain. A month from the minute of now, and he points to the clock. And I'm going to set a time.
Yeah, it should be fairly early, right?
Yes. So,
It should be like, what, an hour and a half after we rouse?
yes. So, just working it out.
It's okay.
Act in different ways.
Hmm?
We can act in different ways.
Tell me about it.
Welcome to the full, ladies and gentlemen.
So, 19th of September, 1942 hours.
Hmm?
This
Better
is the
write that
deadline.
Better write that down. 1909 at 19 hours and 42 minutes.
Provided your terms are met, I will return the blood to you, untempered, untouched, unused. And she will continue as she is until the last breath, taken completely without my touch, without my meddling. I trust I do not need to restate the terms if you fail.
Can she recover in the hospital with specialists?
Recover what? There's nothing left to recover.
I see. Is she's again, rosy? Is she looking better?
She looks like she's just been through fucking hell. As I said, she is weak. But she is without the tumor. She is without the malignancy. And better yet, her lungs are stronger than ever.
Okay.
So no, she may not stay in my hospital.
Understood. It's not that I wanted to leave her here much longer, if I'm honest. No offense.
None taken.
Grab the girl, turn around and see the door with the bar. It's like, is that gonna open now?
It will open for you now.
Thanks. And I just go to the door, open it. And walk
The moment
outside.
you touch it, it starts sliding, whereas before it wouldn't move.
Mm.
And it slides open. And then you shoulder your way out.
Walk all the way out.
Okay. You wait until about 1 o'clock in the morning. Until people finally leave. And you're only really well aware of the fact that they've left because the lights finally go out. What are you doing?
So I think Benjamin will be waiting on the kind of the side of caution, but when the lights have gone out, he'll probably use heightened senses and just have a last kind of look and a listen around the site. Now, if he has a blanket in his car, which I could imagine, if only a panic blanket, if nothing else, that he'll take it. If
Well
not,
used panic blanket.
Yeah, then he'll make his way back to where Jim was. He's not rushing. He's trying to make sure more that he's not observed or he doesn't bump into someone who's like had to rush back because they forgot something and that kind of business. So he'll take it slow and steady until he gets back to where Jim is, or something dramatic happens.
Okay. When Jim emerges, true to his word, he's a mess. He's covered in third-degree burns, or the equivalent of.
Thank you first. Just go and wrap myself up in the blanket as much as possible before coming out. Save the shock for later.
And you only really notice the legs when he starts moving in a very peculiar way, and as you look down, his knees are bucking backwards.
So I'm assuming I can ascertain that he's burnt and his legs are operating weirdly at least, but not the full extent of it.
I mean, most of his clothes are burnt off.
I'm not going to say anything until we're back at the car.
Okay.
I'll just beckon for him to follow, and I'll again be watching out for people, moving carefully until we get back to the car.
Okay. Fortunately, at this time around this construction yard, there's not really a lot of reason for people to come this way.
Cool.
The construction yard is pretty much on the edges of London. Most people at this time will be in centre or close to an establishment of some type.
I'll open the back door for the car.
I'll climb in.
to give him options
Openly.
for laying down if he needs to.
Mhm.
I'll help him if he looks like he needs it, but I won't interfere too much. Then get into the car,
Probably
put on my seatbelt.
lay him back in the back seat.
I won't start the car yet though. What happened?
Whitman and Dan Fisher together.
They attacked you.
They blew up the crossed hands.
Oh.
We're
Oh.
gonna need Moses, and I think a lot more. If what I suspect is right.
What about Mrs. Swarovski and the guests staying there?
Well, I do not know.
Was Katia there?
No,
Was Moses there?
no. If there were anyone else in that building, what I hope the explosion got both those bastards. But I don't know, and anyone else in that building wouldn't have stood a chance.
Where do you want me to take you?
Cross hands were the only place I had residence. So I don't know.
All right.
Thank you.
Let me call Moses and see what he has to say. So I will phone Moses.
This is 6 hours in the future for Moses.
Yeah. So this is about the time where
I am most likely back with Plucky Jake because I don't want to make it look like I am missing my duties. So that's why I want to just.
well, given the kind of what can happen nature of things, you don't get anyone.
Okay.
So he basically doesn't.
Yeah. For whatever reason, he doesn't answer.
So that's worrying. He's not picking up.
I didn't try and call him. I think that my phone survived.
I'll turn and have a kind of look at Jim in the back.
Do you really want to see?
I've seen a lot of things now, Jim. It's going to take more than your destroyed body to scare me now.
Fire's a bastard.
You know, he would have wanted me to paint you like this.
Edmund?
Yes,
Oh, for God's sake.
but I don't want to paint you like this.
What would you like to paint me like?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. What's happened to your legs?
You remember that task?
Yes.
Some sort of effect. It affects my clan differently each time.
Darren Fitcher is a criminal, and Richard Whitman is a police officer.
Hopefully they're ex, both of those now.
Well,
That would be at least a little bit of silver lining.
they blew up the crossed hands.
I barely got out.
They set it on fire. They set it on fire to...
They set explosives.
What?
Yep. Because they knew it was... They tracked it down to one of our coterie having killed his daughter.
Wait, what did you say?
Moses killed his daughter.
Why?
You've never been that hungry, have you?
I have been quite hungry.
Exactly. What will happen if
Yes.
you hold back too long is you will kill. And no matter how hard you try, there is going to come a time where you will.
Yes. Yes, I understand.
And I hate it.
Yes.
I know.
It's wrong.
It is wrong, and the most wrong thing about it is how you feel
Yes.
when there's a corpse in your arms and you cannot hear the beast. That's something I hope you never have to experience, but you will, I'm sure you will at some point.
I don't think you can protect me from this, Jim. I think it's too late. Let's get away from here. And I want to know. It sounds like no one could have escaped, but I want to know what happened to Mrs. Morovsky and the others.
I don't know.
I'll. We should find a place to put you that's safe, or at least. Okay, I'm gonna start driving.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do a drive-by, Benjamin style, as in I'm gonna stop a little way away and watch the crossed hands.
Okay.
As we're done, I'm gonna go. So, seeing as we're here and we've got time to talk, who's Amelia?
How did you?
mention her?
Oh,
Yeah.
she's someone I'm trying to protect from all of this.
Human or
Yes.
fully human?
Yes. What do you mean, fully human?
Can I believe that?
No, I don't think he understands what you meant. They're fully human.
Ghoul or
Oh,
kind?
cool.
Your ghoul?
Yes.
How the hell do you come about with a ghoul?
Well, it was that or have her killed. So, I thought that was the better choice. I'm not 100% convinced it was, but
Yeah.
I don't really want. I know that they're going to find out because they always find out everything, but I don't want people to find out for as long as possible because, well, people who know people around us get hurt. You know?
Yeah.
And she suffered a lot because of people like us already.
That's one of the reasons why there are times I wish that she had just finished the job that night. But I'm still alive. Well, as much as I can be and kicking.
I think the problem is that even if we accept that maybe we are inherently not right and inherently that we shouldn't really be alive anymore or moving anymore, it doesn't matter. I don't want to die. I assume you don't.
Not again.
Not when it actually comes to it.
No.
So I think we just have to try and, you know, just be better somehow than we were. It's just, I don't know. It's like there's something that's going off in your fridge. You know, back when we used to keep things in fridges, and
A while ago.
and you think, well, I don't want to deal with that right now because it doesn't look very pleasant. So you just push it to the back of the fridge and close the door. But the problem is, problem is it festers in there, and then it gets worse, and then it's too late. Really, it's harder. Then it gets impossible, and then
It's the exact same thing as with feeding.
I think more than just feeding. I think with us, but I don't know what else to do, Jim. I mean, I've tried. I've really tried to be better, but you know, it just festers there, and then things get worse. That's just how it is, I think.
Well, at least I haven't failed so far this time. Not technically.
I don't know what you mean, but I'm glad it sounds positive.
Yeah. Not as positive as you might think. Is that cross hands over there?
Are we nearing the crossed hands at this point?
You are. Quick note, by the way, it was the 18th September, not the 19th, because you're 6 hours behind them. So,
Because I'm aware the last time I was here, there was a kid watching from the bus stop, so I don't want to just like roll up. Obviously, I'll stop a little way back so I can use my.
there are emergency services around, which make it hard for you to drive by.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll stop way back from the cordon then.
Do wits plus awareness for me.
Can I aid him?
Not really.
Can I use heightened senses for
You
this?
can look for yourself.
I'll look for myself.
Can I use heightened senses for this? Or not? Is it just too flashy and crazy?
Well, it's very
Yeah.
flashy, unless you want to roll a check to try and negate.
No, I won't bother.
Okay.
I guess I'm primarily wondering if that kid is still there.
Okay.
Okay.
3.
4.
Okay. The kid is not still there. This is something that you immediately pick up on. In fact, the bus stop across the way is basically hidden from view by the police cars, but everybody has been cleared away, and there is ambulances and stuff, which you notice as you're looking towards the ambulance. There are 5 bodies on stretchers that have been pulled out and are covered with white blankets.
5 bodies. I had 2 guests, Miss Morovsky, and those 2.
Does the wreckage of the building remind me of the third painting at all? I'll say, oh.
What?
Yes, she's dead. She was the old lady. I just didn't see it at the time.
What? What are you on about?
I've seen this before.
In your visions?
I didn't know it was a vision at the time. I painted it. But I didn't know about the crossed hands. It's funny, I was convinced it was Moses that was going to be burned. That's why I was... You're sure he's fine? He's not answering his phone.
Well,
I think something's going to happen to him, Jim. I'm worried about him.
Quick question. What are your convictions?
protect children from harm.
And anything else?
So,
Can't quite believe she's dead.
I assume you've driven on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I think I've seen all I need to.
I liked her. Really liked her.
I think there was something comforting in the idea that she would just sort of soldier through it, you know, even when terrible things happened to her.
Almost like nothing could kill her, except old age.
Did you say her and 4 guests?
Well, we had 2 guests, if I remember rightly, and then there were 2 other body bags.
You think that's Darren?
I am fucking hoping they are.
We should see if it is. You stay here. So I'm going to pull over
shit.
somewhere. make sure he's covered with the blanket. I'm gonna I'm gonna use Unseen Passage. I'm gonna go back.
Okay. So you make your way over towards the.
I'll just roll to see if I. Yes.
So make your way back over towards the stretchers.
On hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say. Do Dex plus Stealth, add your obfuscate. Because obviously you have to interact with these to. It's not going to break your thing, but.
But there's a chance it might be seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dex. Oh, hang on. Let's get those hunger dice in there. Okay. Excitement.
Reroll.
I haven't got any willpower unless I go aggravated.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, all this. So it's a messy crit, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 successes.
9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Messy crit.
So.
What? This sounds like it could be fun.
And exactly how did the crosshands were completely destroyed as we went past it, didn't it?
Oh, this is.
Yeah.
There was
is-
explosives
it's
set
gone.
on every level.
It's gone.
Obviously, this was set with the intent that the whole building be taken up, starting from the ground floor.
Yeah, demolition style.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
this is a controlled demolition. This
Yeah.
is not just
So-
a detonation.
You go through each of the ones. Stop very briefly when you see Mrs. Morovsky. And then on your third attempt, you spot Whitman, who you only really recognise by the half of his hairstyle, because the rest of his face is burnt. And then after that, Darren Fitcher. But you move between them both so quickly that you overbalance both stretchers and they go tumbling. And people turn and look and see that the bodies have fallen. You don't think they've seen you.
But it's obviously created as servants.
Yeah. And they immediately start rushing over and you have to step back
Yeah.
and away.
I will get out of there. I mean, after all, this place is haunted, right?
Not anymore.
Actually, yes.
Everybody's on again now.
So okay. So I'll go back to the car. Get in. And say, yes, you were right.
Fitcher hit the button.
He killed himself then.
Got them all. Damn, they got me too.
Did he think he was getting revenge? Is that why he did it?
Potentially. But if what Whitman said to me earlier was true, then we have a potential breach to seal.
What do you mean?
Whitman said that before Fitcher hit the fucking switch, Whitman said that he had left information around the air and that people knew he was there, and that if he did not return, they would then know that we exist. As in our kind. I'm damn fucking glad they're both gone though.
Do you think perhaps you should have led with that, Jim? I'm gonna get my phone.
Okay, so before that,
Yeah, sure.
where did you take Lucy?
Well, after I leave there, I ask him, so where can I get the blood on my way out? Like the blood
Okay.
bags.
As you leave, one of the lights re-illuminates close to where the morgue is, and you manage to find a container of plasma that is filled cold blood, but it's enough to kind of take the edge off. So you'll have enough there to recover 2 points of hunger.
Excellent, because I'm at hunger 3, it'll drop me to 1.
Yep.
That's what I do.
And then you take Lucy, and where are you going?
I go upstairs
Okay.
to where Susan is. Hopefully, Lucy has my hoodie on, so I just walk with her and see if Susan has been trying to get on the phone with Alan Burr, because it's early in the evening. So if she managed to have a chat with him. Everything okay? Is she on the phone or is she?
She's not on the phone. She
Okay.
immediately goes over to
Then
where Lucy
it's
is.
like they helped.
What do you mean? What have they done?
They checked and they have given her an experimental drug. She's going to be experiencing some discomfort, mild pain, probably nausea, I don't know. It's experimental. Definitely she's going to be having nightmares and shit.
Manipulation plus
Yeah,
subterfuge.
of course. And I rouse the blood. And I will power it. Which is good because now that's 4 successes. Oh wait. Yeah, this
I mean, if she has any doubts about what you're saying, it's ignored by the fact that you are carrying a Lucy, which doesn't. I mean, she looks like she's been through hell, but she's more. She's not waking up and then falling asleep, and she's not coughing. She's just sleeping. And she goes over and just runs her hand over her face. Can feel that it's damp, but she just starts dabbing at it with her sleeve. And then when you ask, she says, "Yeah, I spoke to him.
What did he say?
He wants me to come speak to him.
Can he help you?
He says he'll try."
Good. Good. When are you gonna have a chat with him?
Tomorrow.
Brilliant. Then tonight we go back to my place. You stay with Lucy. Hold her hand through the night. It's gonna be a rough night. She's gonna be better. Now, give me the phone. And I call another taxi.
Okay.
Or actually, we just walk to the taxi rank.
Okay.
And I
Yeah, there's plenty of taxis.
and I just get us back to the.
And it's when you turn the corner
combo. Mm-hmm.
and you look up the rail. It's odd. You did not hear. You didn't hear any of the sirens or anything when you were inside. But stepping out and looking up now.
Oh, because it happened last night, of course. So I couldn't see anything. Oh, now I see the lines and everything. Yeah, when I was coming here, I was minding my own business with Lucy. Yeah.
And
Oh shit! What happened here? I'm trying to figure out what happened.
are you going to do that, or are you going to get in a taxi?
No, I'm getting in the taxi.
Okay.
And we're gonna drive to my condo, because if anything happened in that accursed place that was haunted, I'm glad I spent the night elsewhere. And actually, this is Lucy and Susan saving my life. Okay? So, I go all the way to my condo, give them cash so she can order takeaway from any place and she can be okay. I will probably come back before dawn. If not, don't worry. Sleep here. Don't mind me. I'll see you tomorrow evening. Worst case scenario.
Do you check in?
Sorry?
Do you check in?
Check in. Log in. I log in.
Yeah. Okay.
I log in just to make sure that nothing is triggered. But it's something. Just me going in, logging in, turn on the security system and the things on the condo, normal stuff just to reassure her, and then I take another taxi to 3 blocks away from where I'm going.
Okay. So you're in the middle of going to
continue torturing this guy. I cannot like disappear from the middle of it and have the Nosferatu
Okay.
Primogen asking questions about where I was.
So you head back towards the Tower of Matlins,
Yes.
and you return to the torture,
Yes.
and it proceeds exactly as the night before. No answers are given. The tongue, which is not grown back, is still there. And you proceed with the torture. And Plucky Jake asks the same questions. And it's a kind of full circle back to the way things had been when you had been held captive. Same questions asked. Plucky Jake goes through the same routine of pretending to be pissed. And yet he continues with very precise methods of torture. Not only ones that are designed to inflict pain, that seems to be very light on what he's doing. The main things he's going towards are the things which stimulate the beast. And he's doing it well. It's actually quite unnerving. But he seems to be slowly whittling away at the willpower of this individual. And it's after midnight. You're not sure how long after midnight, but after midnight, that your phone, your business phone, bzzzt. Gideon. Bzzzt.
Work. As in. Work.
I said no fucking talking. Fuck off.
I go out. Yes. Hi, Gideon. Everything right?
Where are you, Moses?
I'm in clan business, but
Well, that can wait.
okay. What happened? Everything right?
Where are you?
I'm in. Is that in the center, north, east, whatever?
Center.
I'm in the center.
Right. Message me your location. We're coming to pick you up.
Okay, cool.
By the way, where's Jim?
The hell I know. Last time I saw him, I think it was last night. I'm trying to make last time I saw him was last night when we were going back to our haven in our domain. But then I just left to take care of some clan businesses. Haven't been back since. Is everything okay?
No, he's wanted for somewhat of a large breach, and you are now assisting us in bringing him in.
Yes, boss. Texting you my address as soon as I hang up.
And if he does have a god, pray on his behalf. I've never seen the constable this pissed. And he hangs up.
I text the address, like the block, like the street over or whatever. It's like the easiest from where I can see from the top. And then I go in. It's like the constable needs me. There's an issue.
What? No. This is much funnier. Can't believe you're my clanmate. Fuck off.
And I usually leave.
Okay. And that is where we're going to bring the episode to a close.
Aside from 2 rolls we gotta make.
Oh shit, yeah.
Aside from those 2 rolls. So 1 and 2.
Yes, 1 success.
All my dice are successes.
So you both feel very bad.
It's like, yay, you feel awful. Well done.
It's like, actually,
Killer.
the scene is me going into the elevator, going like, why couldn't have gone through another night of that shit? Like, torturing is not as easy as I thought.
Thank you to Gaming FTL for the raid. 'Cause that happened.
Yeah,
Thank you,
very much,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. Next week.
Uh-oh.
Next week,
Yes.
we are going to have an interesting. So next week is not episode 32.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's gonna be a teaser / preview of something that we want to show you guys. So stay tuned. We're gonna be teasing it over social media. It's just next week. You'll love it.
Yeah, more info on the
Hopefully.
blog on Sunday.
And over the tweets during the week.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the week after will be
Resuming episode 32 on the 15th of July.
Back to
Yes.
Vampire Circus on the
I'm
Thames.
gonna prepare.
Vampire Circus on the Thames. And yeah,
Yeah.
on the 15th.
Uh,
I mean, I got a little miming today. I can put it
Yeah.
on.
you did get a bit of miming. I mean, I'm pretty certain that caused willpower damage to Plucky Jake.
Finally, I get
It was
to
like,
win.
what am I watching? I'm pretty certain all that he's got in his head is the sound of the magic roundabout music and the ding 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 ding. Oh, so
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
rock.
Thank you very much, guys, for being awesome, for joining us. Join these guys next week. Unfortunately, I won't be here. But then I will be back afterwards, as they said, to continue on this roller coaster of fuckery.
Hashtag.
So, yeah, hashtag.
Fucked with Mage, fucked with
Himself.
himself.
It's the best way.
I
right?
think
Yeah.
I'm just fucked always.
And you are fucked regardless.
So thank you very much, guys, and we will see you soon.
Yeah.
Right.
Take care.
Much love.
Bye.
Love you all. Thanks, Frassy Sass.
Thank
and
you.
everybody else.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Thames. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and ShrekNet, the links to which are down below. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. on Twitch. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.